No one can ignore this PulseChain pump, my friends. Welcome back, baby dolls. A surprise stream. Open up your mouth. Get ready for the lollipop. We have the resurrection of the better Bitcoin. HEX is continuing. Whee! We do have friendship. We do have kindness. We're also still down more than 99%. But there's plenty of time for everyone because you are witnessing the first step of many steps. We have HEX leading the way. PulseChain breaks the curse of the 11 red months in a row. We're going to go through all the core coins. I say all the baby dolls in chat. I even have a poll for you ladies out there. Where is the HEX next resistance? Is it right here or is it 4x higher? We're going to go through, friends. HEX leading the way. Let's actually start it off with HEX. HEX, remember, is on PulseChain. There's eHEX and there is pHEX. Which one's the real HEX? Maybe they both are. I don't know. This is the HEX price chart. We had the Conrad Zen capitulation down here where he threatens Richard Hart. He goes, "Oh, Richard, don't make me do it." Some of us are wondering, dude, that's really weird. Like, you're a massive believer the whole time, and then the price goes so low, you come out and threaten everyone. $50 units from Mr. Paladin out here. Highest value information in crypto. The Pulse, the Pringles, potato chips cans were perfect. I'm breaking the AI prompts with my thumbnails, my friends. You're going to really enjoy the thumbnails. The thumbnails are so good, they make me pause. You know, friends, I was scrolling on YouTube, and you know the YouTube videos. I'm just looking for cues to stack up the queue. And my thumbnails now, it makes me pause. I go, oh, wait a minute, that's mine. But it actually gets me, which is fascinating for myself because I watch stuff that I want to watch. This is the HEX from PulseChain price chart. Now, friends, remember, the orange juice, half empty or half full. Everybody in crypto, because they are sidelined, will keep saying, oh, it's half empty, half empty, half empty. Unfortunately for them, the market doesn't give a crap whether you think it's half empty or half full. We are seeing the resurrection. The price is still really, really, really low, which means it's still early. And we've come back to December 2025 prices. If we go back to August 2025 high, that's another 4.5x. That's why I've written, hey, do you think resistance is here and Brandon B is going to be right? Or do you think we're going all the way up there? If you've got $10 redunis and a dream like we do, join us in Spoony Wielders. We keep DCA buying. To me, friends, and remember, I don't know anything. If I knew something, I'd be a potato farmer and I would have bought Pokemon cards 5 years ago. I know nothing. But my strategy for 4 years has been exactly the same, which is buy in depression, sell in euphoria. Okay, what's depression? For me, Ethereum under $5,000. It's still under $5,000, never broke above it. It's been tough, it's been rough. Okay, here we go. We have HEX from PulseChain leading the way up. This is a very important ratio. You can see the underlying strength as well. The HEX PLS ratio is also shooting up. Now, friends, I don't know anything, but if I was to guess, I don't think this thing's going to break up. All right. I just got a feeling like it's kind of like going to go around, chop around, everyone buys it, and they get dumped on. So, look, I want to play around with the ratios, all right? Unless you get generational switches. But you already got a generational switch, you know? Did you want to buy pDAI when Richard Hart came out and flooded it? Okay, you didn't want to buy it? All right, you didn't want a generational price. So, it's easier said than done, I'm telling you. It's better just to accumulate USD prices, friends. Also, some of you as well, you're already messaging me. You guys want to go all in on one coin. Listen, man, get it through your head, bro. Don't go all in on one coin, dude. Because then you're forced to take a position on the ratios. Just sprinkle them. Just sprinkle them. And by the way, look, I don't want to rush you, but we've been here before. People get the idea. They don't listen. And then 4 weeks later, they go and buy much higher. You're in a weaker spot, okay? My recent weekly bite video, we're nibbling away. Don't do this, but I'm just letting you know now's the time to do leverage. Okay? Just don't do it. Don't do it. But now's the time. Because no one else is doing it. No one else is thinking about it. No one else feels confident. There is no confirmation. No one wants to take on leverage. This is when you do it. The problem is no one decides this by themselves. 1 out of 100 people do. only after prices go up a lot and the crowd thinks, oh wow, Ethereum's above $3,000 reduces and AI is taking over the world. I want to do leverage. Unfortunately, you decide that with little Timmy, little Jerry, little Jessica, little Tommy, all at the same time. You're all buying high. This is the Pulse PLS price chart. We'll go through the core coins. Second red month in a row. Now green. Interesting. Okay, remember, this was red at the start, flipped green. This was starting red, and then it flipped green. You're noticing we are now reversing the pain. This is the monthly chart, though, on a linear chart. I have a guess of the circles of how long it takes. I hope I'm really wrong, but it's starting to swoop up. If I was to guess, friends, I don't know anything, all right? But if I was to guess, it swoops back up, and it's going to take a while, all right? I want it to come faster. That's what she said, but I don't know. All I know is prices are cheap right now. Pulse, PLS, people, it's funny. People are feeling that Pulse is now boring because it's thick. Rectum's got a lot. That's what they're feeling. Like, oh, it's bonded with everything. It's boring. Maybe it's got the thickest liquidity bonding, but it's the health of the whole ecosystem, okay? And Pulse, PLS, it's, of course, bonded to all the altcoins. If Pulse goes up, everyone wins. This is PulseX. Okay, PulseX is still heavily discounted from the SAC price. So from here, PulseX give you, friend, it's 11x back to SAC. That's actually bonkers. Huge. It's really cheap. Deflationary. Also, big news for PulseX, friends. Big news. PulseX, 9.6% of the user supply has been bought and burned. 9.6%. Also, Mr. Paladin, dropping it again. Highest value thumbnails in crypto. The Pulse and Pringles. That's what his first one was. I have double messages from him. Justin, Jim Cramer just posted that DickWifButt will never flip Bitcoin. Thank you so much, Mr. Paladin, as well. Crowd favorite. We will also get to DickWifButt as well. Okay, some say DickWifButt is the reason why Richard Hart made PulseChain, because he didn't want to get teased on Solana or Ethereum or any other chain. He wanted his own decentralized Hexico community to celebrate DickWifButt. We have as well, friends, thinking about DickWifButt and the other altcoins and everything. Remember, everything's bonded with PLS. Very important. Now, you know, someone who's sidelined, they're in Solana, they're in other Robinhood chains, and they're getting rugged in the Bonnie Blue line. They will see, say, DickWifButt and Pika, maybe the Tangang coins. I don't know if they come back or anything else, you know, PTGC and anything else. They will see those and go, oh, we've seen them before. They're never coming back. That's what they say. Okay, but we are not like them. They drink soy. They're in the Bonnie Blue line. They abandon coins every 15 minutes, right? They want to move from coin to coin to coin to coin. They never want to go back to any of them. The difference is on PulseChain, you'll find people, once they stick onto something, they stay. Now, the thing is, can the network effect grow and get new heights? Can you onboard new people? We don't know that. You just think with Ethereum under $2,000, if you're still here, it makes you wonder, hey, surely you should be able to onboard people if Ethereum is above 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Yes. Pulse PLS, very cheap, friends. And I have a very important message here, just so you know. The net outflow, -5 million from PulseChain Bridge. Okay, in the past 12 months, the price is going down. It was only a net outflow of 5 million. That is a very small, tiny, insignificant number. So if that 5 million comes back, it's easy to revert. And you've got $37 million in stablecoins literally just sitting there. And you, my friends, are going to get some angel music. So PulseX is really low. Also, underlying strength with PulseX. Not only is there a big buy and burn, but the ratio is giga strong. It's going to flip PLS. Again, it actually hit parity. It looks like it's going to go higher. PulseX to Pulse ratio, it's deflationary. Some say the sleeping dragon. If you guys remember, we had K for K crypto. Don't know where he is now. He was making all the videos back in 2021, 2022 about it. He was like the sleeping giant. Yes, you get like an 11x if it goes back to SAC price. HEX as well, friends. Altogether, HEX is just really low. eHEX and pHEX will go through the eHEX as well. pHEX itself from here back to the high is 9x. So if you have trash out there, if you're down 90% in any coin, the PulseChain core coins are really low. Because at least you have a community that keeps supporting them. It's not just another abandoned coin. But it doesn't last forever. You understand? There's a ticking time on this. Because if you're in Cosmos, Atom, or in Polkadot, yeah, their tokens are really low, but so is PulseChain Core Coins. That's why it's a gift to be able to DCA buy here. Because if you're buying something like Bitcoin, only 50% off its high, then you're only going to get a double if it recovers. Whereas if you're buying something like HEX, which is now from its high, this is the combined HEX price, 99.19%. Even if it goes back to, say, 20 cents one day, that's a 46x. You know, but obviously the question is, does it ever get there? Well, you don't know that. You don't know that. But you're trying to align yourself with the higher probability of events. You would think that if HEX was going to go up there, what does the environment look like? Probably Ethereum is above 5,000. Probably it's next year plus. Okay? That's what we're looking for. This, my friends, is the eHEX price chart. You can see it's starting to swoop. You can check it out. This is the eHEX to pHEX ratio. It is again confirming maybe a parity is coming. Maybe. I want to remind everyone, 2.5 years ago, Richard Hart FUDs eHEX, sends it to 0. Just me saying in tweets, if you're buying PulseChain, not financial advice, but I would get all the coins still. Just me saying that, I got violent death threats. Okay? So, just the thought, the whisper of me uttering the words, it might be worth to pick up some eHEX. I was actually very strongly convicted on it. It was so anti-crowd sentiment. Look how wrong they were. All right? Now, remember, friends, my goal here, I'm not here to pluck people out and go, you were wrong. You were wrong. You. That doesn't mean anything, all right? The crowd is a sentiment. It's a market price. It's a voice. I'm just asking you to entertain the thought that if the crowd is wrong about eHEX, what else are they wrong about? Okay? There's many things we can go through, all right? The P tokens. Are the P tokens dead? Will they be wrong about that? They're wrong about eHEX. They're wrong about eHEX's USD price. They're wrong about the eHEX to pHEX ratio, right? I mean, look at it. Look how huge it's up. 400%. Okay. What else are they going to be wrong about? They think Richard Hart maybe abandoned the chain. They're in Solana and Robinhood. Are they going to be wrong about the PulseChain Explorer needing to be built and fixed properly so it can pump? Maybe they're wrong about that. Another thing they might be wrong about, the sacrifice treasury. Maybe it's not stolen. Maybe it's actually still there. You just can't see it. You see? So there are all these things. I haven't even got into the pDAI one, right? There are many crowd sentiment stuff. It makes you wonder, hey, if you're wrong about eHEX, what else are you wrong about? Remember, you don't need to dissect these stories. If you're just holding low and holding long enough, you're doing the job. We've also got, friends, crowd favorite and greenest token, incentive token, Inc. Friends, it was kind of funny. Incentive token, I've been saying it's useless and does nothing for so long, but one of you baby dolls, okay? I felt this compassion. I got one reply from an innocent person. He got offended that I said incentive token does nothing except be green. He actually got offended at that. I'm going to assume if you're out there, my friend, that you are new, and I want you to know it's a joke, but also not really a joke, because I want to ask you something. What are you using Bitcoin for? It's got an orange logo. Are you using it for anything? No, you're not. Thank you. So what about Dogecoin? That's a brown logo. Do you use that for anything? Nope. Dogecoin's got like, 7 billion market cap plus, probably going to be 100 billion one day. You don't need a use case for this stuff, right? But people say that, oh, that means you're a Ponzi and stuff. No, it's not that. It's these things have networks. These things have people who hold them, and they believe in something. Now, what do they believe in? You have to figure that out, right? Who's holding Doge? We DCA buy it in the weekly buy. Why do I hold it? I like dogs. It's as simple as that. Okay, you don't need more than that, all right? So people think just because you have a Fugazi joke type of approach to holding it, they think it means that it's paper thin. Well, I don't think so, dude. I don't think so, because, you know, there are many things out there in the world which you might consider as non-serious. Like, what about theme parks for kids? What about action heroes? What about Barbie? You know, you could live without them, but they have network effects. You get it? What about Kim Kardashian? What did she get famous for? Flashing her boobies? But everybody flashes their boobies now. What's she doing now? You don't even remember. You don't even know. But she's got a network effect. You get it? There are many of these things out there in the world. Inherently, you would never think to participate in them. But if I offered you a stake in their company, you'd be all over it. Like if Kim Kardashian told you, hey, starting up a makeup line, I'm letting you in, you get to buy in at 10 million market cap. You're going to go literally all in. You get it? So you know you're not a fan of her. You don't even watch her. You don't know where she hangs out. But you know that sounds too cheap. Exactly. So what I'm telling you is with the network effect of a small number of people, there are valuations too cheap. This is the incentive token, friends. Greenest logo. Back to near 50 cents. It opened at about $82. There was the DeFi food tokens. The farms. Okay, Inc. was a token handed out. Had high inflation at the start. Everybody bonded. And then it went down. Let's put it on the linear chart. Looks like Melania and her stiletto stepping on our nuts. Okay. This is where we are right here. We hit in Euphoria, Bitcoin spot ETF, about $10 redoonies. So if we were to go back anywhere, I really hope we just come back here and then friendship continues. Right. You don't need to do anything with the incentive token. It might be used for something in the future. Maybe there's governance voting. Who knows? You don't need that. Remember, utility is a trap. Just got to remind everyone. Utility is a trap in terms of utility is what retailers want in the coin because they're too scared to hold the coin with the uncertainty that someone might not like it. So what they would rather is a base utility value because it means even if you don't like the coin, you have to buy it. Example, gold. Yep. Gold, it's all utility and store of value. Okay, so people are storing its utility over time, but 90% of the gold's market cap is literally just the premium store of value, the monetary value. Only 10% is the actual use case utility. So that's why people are storing it. That's why if you listen to Uncle Peter Schiff and anyone else in gold, their utopia is the whole world goes to zero and you and I, we can't even afford a haircut. Actually, all we've got is giant lollipops and we're trying to hit each other over the head because we're trying to steal each other's radishes from our radish farms. They're thinking this end of the world and everything's burning to the floor. And so in their world, they're like, ha, 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 I have a bar of gold. Okay, so basically everyone goes minus 100% net worth, but the gold guys only go 90% net worth down, which means you're still infinitely richer than everybody because all they have is pieces of paper. Now, I know this scenario sounds funny, but that's actually the gold doomer scenario. You see? Now, obviously, gold's slow. You want more risk. This is incentive token. Also, incentive token, friends, is literally just bonded with Pulse. Notice how it's gone literally nowhere in 2 years. This is literally the Pulse price. You see? The ratio is exactly the same. Makes you wonder what's coming in the future. By the way, it did have a nice solid green weekly candle. I wonder if it's going to tick on higher. For what reason? No one knows. Why would it go up there? No one knows either. Who's buying? Don't know. Can't tell you. Now, friends, because HEX is really, really low and starting to recover, the leverage on HEX might be interesting because we have ICOSA here, for example, super low. And the ICOSA HEX ratio just shows you how insanely freaking low this thing is down here. I mean, the expensive ICOSA, the ratio is all the way up there. So we might see a resurrection of these projects. But HEX is still like down 99%. So it's got to probably hit some inflection point, which we don't know exactly what it is. But when it hits there, something will wake up. Okay. We've also got Mr. Perv. Shout out to all the feet fans. Mr. Perv starting to rotate higher. Okay. Right here. Mr. Perv, I think, is bonded with just USDC, friends. I don't know if it's bonded with Pulse. The liquidity on it's really, really low. Maybe something wakes up later on. So you're seeing all of these things start to wake up. We're in this like really critical moment where there's confirmation. Things are waking up. Everyone's really loud. right? But there's no free lunch. You don't know if these things are going to continue higher, but you just know that, oh, it's not dead. Something's happening, right? You got your Brandon B's who thinks this is going to ultimately be a reload scam. So Brandon B, for example, he's put this thing on like a 4-hour chart. This is eHEX, okay? And he's like, dude, this is way, way, way too high. Way too high. And I commented, dude, just put on a monthly chart and zoom out, bro. You're telling me this is too high. Look where it is down here. So he thinks it's going to be another lower low, all right? But you never know, man. Maybe this does go all the way back right here. This is a 3x for eHEX and pHEX. Very important as well. If eHEX and pHEX hit parity, extremely critical, because you're trying to think about what does that mean? If eHEX and pHEX do reach parity, friends, what if we get closer? What's the plan? Okay, well, it tells you, wait a minute, if eHEX and pHEX can hit parity, can anything else? Can anything else? You know, that's what you're trying to think about. Are you early enough? You are. We're not there yet. All right. Once we're there yet, then you're going to think about the next game. That's the advantage of buying low. We've also got, friends, big things potentially coming to the altcoins, but Pulse has to keep on rising. All right. So, of course, there's ATROPA ecosystem, which has been sleepy for a long time. This is the ATROPA price. Just moving chop sideways. And then we have as well pDAI. pDAI here, chop. And then the pDAI pulse ratio, which I'll show you, has now had 2 red months in a row. Okay. So something interesting I have to show you as well, friends. Interesting. More like clues. Right now, HEX is going up by itself. The calls are going up a bit. And the subset of ATROPA, pDAI, Peacock, they are not moving. Their pulse ratios are all going down. So I'll just show you this now. Actually, this is Peacock. If you look at the Peacock to pulse ratio, look at it. It's getting dunked. You see this? So this is actually good for all of us. All right. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's actually really is good for us because it gives you opportunity. Because it tells you at some point in the future, you got to think about it right now. It's just like us. But at some point in the future, it'll be Solana bridges and Ethereum bridges and XRP guys and people coming in, and they won't have any idea what the hell's going on. They're just going to be smashing up whatever's going on. Okay. So if you are witnessing a call token only run and you see weak hands joining, it kind of tells you, hey, wait a minute, the other tokens haven't moved. All right. I would just be very careful with like trying to move a lot of money or trying to do a lot of ratio stuff. But at least you know that these things, they're not moving 100% in tandem, which actually it opens up opportunity for us. But if you're listening, you're probably nearly all in already. But yes, if you have DCA money coming in, don't go all in on one coin. And I've been talking to you about this as well. It actually is amazing how we've gone from like 3 days ago, nothing's moving, and now it does move and everyone's lost their mind already. Which is like I told you, it's a little example of what's going to happen to the rest of crypto once they see this stuff moving up. Because you're watching with me, you're watching them trade and Solana and buy a trend and sell a trend and everything's a scam and never hodl. You're not going to have anyone retiring in the next 12 to 18 months. Zero. We've been here before. I mean, the game's just gotten harder. All you're going to see is like the top leaderboard, FOMO, app and PumpFun guys who are just rugging everyone effectively. Most of them are just rugging everyone, and all their followers keep getting destroyed. They're going to have nothing to show for it, you know. And unfortunately, though, for their feeble little hearts, they will learn that to succeed in life, you have to believe in something. Unfortunately, they will most likely learn it at the worst possible time. It's another way to say that we're coming in to buy the top. They will have to capitulate, my friends. So we've got PulseChain moving up. We're also probably going to see some HEX influences come back. Remember, friends, this is the combined HEX price. Okay, to just show you how, friends, you know how destroyed this thing is, dude. Friends, this is where the FTX collapse was. You know, FTX collapsed in 2022. This thing was 3.1 cents. It is still down here. My gosh, it's got another 7x to go. And then we got to chop through resistance. Are we going to unlock higher prices? I think the fate then relies on Vitalik and whether or not he's still seeing that girl. Because Ethereum at $2,000 redoonies, it's obviously not enough for us to get the new people in. Above $5,000 redoonies, we're cooking with gas. Okay, that's why I've maintained that position. It's really, really hard, you know, because a lot of people, what that will do, friends, you get to see it as well over time. Everyone's just focusing on this part, right? Everyone has about a 3 to 6 month view, all right? They look 6 months back and 6 months forward. That's about the retailer view, okay? But if you want to win, you got to expand it. You got to look minus 10 years, plus 10 years. You got to literally look 10 times longer than what they're looking, right? So you got to look minus 5 years, plus 5 years, okay? They're obviously looking at half a year in front, half a year in back. Okay? So you're literally 10 times, you got 10 times wider scope. So you can see why everyone is so tempted to start trading and thinking they've got motion. Apparently, like rugging your followers now, there's a new word that they've made for it. It's called having motion. As in like, yeah, you're moving places. Like, they're just inventing words just to rug each other. But it's totally fine. You got to remember, friends, these people, you can't argue with them. There is no logic when it comes to this. They are going to make the mistake all over again. And remember, if you get FOMO just watching another coin on a freaking chain go up 12%, you got to think about these people who are like watching everyone else month after month after month after month, and they're still not retiring. You understand? So they have this urge to trade. It's literally going to kill them. Right? So this is where Ethereum is still sitting out. Maybe we'll see a girth rally if everything moves up together. I'm going to continue DCA buy. Now, I want to go through some hot, sexy comments. Thank you to Mr. Abyss Chaos. I see Mr. Abyss Chaos. He's got my friend Sommi on Instagrams and maybe TikToks, one or the other. He's doing clips of me as well. I'm also friends on TikTok and the Instagrams. I talk to you guys over there. It's really more personal, you know. We've got Robin, Mr. Robin A, right? Mr. Robin Assen in the medical pharma stuff. I love his stuff. You guys are really, really smart. It's actually amazing, friends. You guys have actually a lot of talents. I just hope that, you know, when you finally do make it, that this story has a nice conclusion. I just don't know where we go from there. There's nowhere to go. That's why I think once you talk to everyone, friends, everyone wants the funny part. Crypto is Hotel California. Okay? It's Hotel California. You come in, you think you're going to be here for about 4 weeks to 4 months, make 8 times your money, walk out and go live a life. No. Okay? Once you're in, you cannot get out. All right? There's a 99% chance you're not getting paid anytime soon, number one. And number two, this is the catch-22 of the scenario. For you to hold through the volatility, for you to actually go like, Ethereum, you are cheap, you are cheap, you are cheap, you are cheap, altcoins are cheap, 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 cheap. Holding through this whole period of time, you have to learn why actually you're here, which is debt's high, money printing's a scam, all the blue-pilled cuck normies are getting destroyed, the baby boomers and their real estate wealth is going to be taxed at ever-increasing tax rates, which they don't know yet. They think they're going to be cool. No, you're not. You're passing away soon. All the politicians are going to come and grab your wealth. So we know all of this thing is happening. We know they're all worshipping Baal, deep state. We're totally aware of these. So, and also, you know, you got no privacy in the other world. You got it in crypto. We're building all the tech, all the cypherpunks, total freedom. Right, and I haven't even gotten to the cheaper prices. Like, because there's no middlemen, right, we can just put the tech in, you know, all the Uniswap pools and Forex, even on PulseChain, they're testing like FX swap stuff. You can just like minimize your slippage out here because there's no employees to pay. There's no one in the middle who needs to take a cut. It's just a market maker on chain. So once you start to understand this, you realize, oh, wait a minute, I can't actually leave, which is hilarious. It is funny to think about it. Now that you finally like, hey, now that you've made all the money, I've got some bad news for you. You're here for so long, you got nowhere else to go. The great irony of the situation. Mr. Stiff Tech, Sommi built a rocket. Can I come? Please. Yes. Yes, fans. Best thumbnails in crypto, friends. I'm not joking. I'm looking at the other thumbnails, man. Friends, this one thing in this game, I didn't think I'd have to be doing the thumbnail game at this point in the time. I just thought we'd all be retired by now. But you just improve 1%, 1%, 1%. Also makes you really think about, man, how hard it is to succeed in any business. You know, it's kind of like, friends, you ever watch Olympics? You ever see those ladies who are doing the janitor sweeping, right? You know, the janitor sweeping, when you're like, hey, the girls, you know, get away from the kitchen. They're just sweeping. You think it's easy, but then it's not, because you think, oh, that looks easy, but nothing's actually easy. There's competition everywhere. So I really hope that with all of us in crypto here, with what we've seen, you can see community is the asset, and me giving you 7,500 videos, we really do have an edge where you realize that, you know, minus 99% used to be the biggest fear. Now it's actually a strength. Okay. You haven't seen Bitcoin do minus 99%. Yeah. How would Michael Saylor react, by the way, if Bitcoin dropped minus 90% for 5 years? Okay. They've got no answer. Their answer is, it can't. It can't, Lara. Lara, it can't go minus 90% for 5 years. It can't. That just scares me. You know, like, you know, the guy saying, oh, I can't do that, can't do that. I hope to God it never does that. I'm just telling you, like, that doesn't give me confidence. Saying it can't, it can't, it can't, you know? Whereas with HEX, if you say, hey, what happens if it drops 99%? It's not a what if, it happened. Yeah, a lot of people left. Yeah, a lot of people, not everyone. You're still here. I'm still here. People still DCA buying. The engagement's still high on Twitter, Roonies and X. People are still making videos. Richard Hart's brother is all over Tink Tonk. You understand? So it's not a weakness anymore. It's a strength. But no one understands what's going on. Obviously, you understand, but obviously what I'm talking about is the wealth. The biggest wealth share of crypto is in the Bitcoin dominance, okay? You can see it's in Bitcoin. Bitcoin people don't understand what it's like to be losing for 2 years and then have these big Bitcoin treasuries with 10,000 Bitcoin say, you know what? We actually want Ethereum on our treasury, not Bitcoin. They don't know what that feels like. Instead, what they say is that'll never happen. They go, oh, it'll never happen because we're proof of work and we're amazing. And, you know, that's, we'll see. Okay, I will hold my breath and it'll be fine. We'll get there. Quantifiably correct. We got our own pump fund right now. We do, sir. See, the thing is, friends, everyone wants a coin that goes up, but actually people want something to believe in, which means they just don't want to sell, man. People don't want to leave because it's really exciting to get them in. They just don't want to leave. They're sick and tired of being abused with people who drag them in and they say, motion, motion, trade, keep clicking, motion, profit is profit. Okay, it's dwindling, dude. It's lower high, lower high. That's why if you're in Pump Fun, I'll tell you where you are. You are in 2023, and you are Taiki Maeda. Okay, that's where you are in Pump Fun. You are wanting to relive the previous big season returns, but you are faced with a fork because everyone in the game knows it's a scam. See, in DeFi, friends, everybody thought they could buy and hold the DeFi coins, but then everybody got rugged because all the yield farmers dumped on everyone and left. So some people say, oh, it's a free market and it's a game. You can use whatever word you want, bro. I'll just call you scammers and vultures. I know technically you're not a scammer, and I know I can't call you a vulture because, you know, if you leave a piece of bread in the middle of a park and a bird comes and swoops it, do you call the bird a vulture? I'm using these words to protect you. Basically, you can't trust them. Okay, so that's that's the position where we are now in Pump Fun, where everyone wants all the 15 million Robinhood users to come bridge in and buy all their trash meme coins, their trash Pump Fun rug coins, but it's not happening. Okay, it's not happening because that's the biggest mistake. Everyone who's a fool always thinks there's another greater fool, but they can never admit that they are the last in line. Okay, it's an actual big reality check. That's something I've noticed time and time again, right? And that's maybe going to be very relevant later on at the top of the cycle. We'll see when they come in. Mr. Big Banana, crowd favorite. Finally, I caught a live. I have been DCA buying consistently for 4 months. It feels like the others index must supercent by this year for the Benno cycle to make sense. Otherwise, we keep DCA buying until 2034. So yeah, what he's talking about is the Benno cycle. And yeah, friends, I'll just be honest, this does scare me because the Benno cycle, remember, is made by the guy, he was sick of getting rugged in the 1870s. So he made the cycles and they actually kind of match up. He says down here that in 2026, friends, he says we are, which is our year, it's a seller's year. As in, you need to sell because you're about to get mogged. Okay? He says it's 20, which is like obviously this year. But then you think, oh, but crypto didn't go up. Yeah, and then we're like, okay, but did gold go up? Yeah. Silver? Yeah. AI software? Yes, it did go up. What about AI hardware? That went up. What about Intel? Yep. What about Johnson & Johnson baby bump powder? Yeah. Copper? Yeah, that also went up. Pokemon cards? That went up. RuneScape coal? Potatoes? Of course. So you start going down the line of every asset and you realize, wait a minute. There are 50 assets out there. All 49 have gone up except crypto. So friends, this is it. Okay, this is it where we're faced with the decision. Either the market is wrong or we're wrong. Okay, I'm not leaving. I'm not selling. I'm not selling low because of how I think a cycle might play out. All right, that is the #1 mistake you can ever make. Warren Buffett, if you listen to his university college talks, right, he always in his speeches, there's always like a wise guy kid who comes out. He goes, Warren, what do you think about the price of oil? What do you think about the Saudi Arabians of the price of oil, Warren? And this is literally like in the 1990s. Okay? There's always a wise guy kid comes out and Warren's response is always like, listen, I don't care what oil's doing. I don't care what the Fed's doing. I never try to think about what the interest rates are going to do ahead. I never think about what the economy is doing. I don't think like that at all. I never factor that at all. All I think about is this thing good or not? Okay. It's really hard. It is really hard, but this is where we are now, you know? And some people might say it's just hope and cope, but I will take that lesson for life. And I've known about that for a long time. When I started watching his videos a long time ago, I just found that, wow, it's very, because I noticed the pattern. I'm like, man, there's always a wise guy kid, like a little wise guy, probably like a little Fred Corrigan. Hey, Warren, what do you think about those interest rates? Hey, I heard the US Federal Reserve is going to move those interest rates. Every single college professor, university talk Warren does, there's always a kid with his hand up and talks about something like that. But he's asking that question to sound smart to everybody else. And then Warren always mocks them and be like, nah, I don't care. Okay, so I learned that. I just, over time, I'm like, wow, the guy just really doesn't care about predicting all this stuff, right? And then look at his track record. He was right. He was absolutely right, you know? I didn't understand that at the time, but now I give you the highest value content in crypto. So, for example, the US Fed is always reacting to the economy, okay, with the interest rates. Okay, so we move first. So that's just something to help you, right? Because people think, because we have, for example, talking macro here, the interest rate expectations from Kevin Warshit is 2 rate hikes. Okay. So people think, oh no, they're going to hike rates twice and we're going to get a recession. But I have to kindly tell you, no. The market's saying we're going to have a strong economic boom melt up and it's going to go so fast, they have to hike in response. Whoa, slow down, you're going too fast. You know? But when I say that, no one believes. Of course, we'll get some Pumpy G music. Of course, no one believes. It's almost like it's the disbelief part, okay? Where the economy is going up first, or the stock market's pricing in the future first, which I show you now on the chart, and then the economy, the data is going to come out in 3 and 6 and 9 months from now, and it's all going to make sense, but it's going to be too late. You understand? So that's why we have this sting melt up, you know? Friends, this is a very, very rare, unique time in history. This is a once in a lifetime, what we're witnessing right now, because by every other measure in the past 100 years, by now, the economy should have rolled over. But it's AI, okay? And there is an important thing with AI. AI, for the first time, we can now see on the horizon replacing the human labor unit. We've never been able to do this before. We can actually replace and create, all right? When we made the tractor, okay, because all the potato farmers were like, whoa, I just have so much money here and all these potatoes, but these people aren't working fast enough. I need a tractor. Now, the tractor wiped a lot of farm jobs. They went into other industries, right? But that's just replacing them and making them more efficient. But with AI agents and China's sex robots from China, the robots and the robotic super cycle, not only are you replacing people, but you're creating them. right? We've never been able to do that before. It's another way to kindly say the economic model before is you got to bring in immigrants and you got to have babies. The bears grow up to 18 and then they start working in the economy. Okay, that's the traditional economic model, which we're seeing right now. But now with robots, you don't need to wait for the immigrants to come in. And you're like, wait a minute, we can just skip the immigrants part. We don't even need the immigrants. Why do we need the immigrants? Why do we need the birth rate to go up? We actually don't. We just got to keep making more robots. Exactly. Do you see? That's what the economy is actually pricing in right now. But nobody can see it because everyone thinks they're Michael Berry and they're going to call the top on everything. You see, the stock market, friends, is insiders, dude. They're pricing in something into the future here. It's pricing in more people. They're not people, but they're robots, right? But that's why I'm telling you, like, insiders know this stuff. They're just not telling you and me. I tell you this all the time in Juicy News. Insiders know Elon Musk, Mr. Elon Musk himself, he will be given some sort of license. He will be able to own 100,000 robots in the future, whereas you and me can only own one. And he'll be given a special economic license, right? And he'll have a higher brain and he can tell them what to do. And he'll be, you know, given certain amounts of land across America to build and operate them, right? This is like futuristic, but you don't know this, okay? But the people who are getting the money printing, the currency units, and they're allocating right now, they know this. You understand? But then when this reality comes, the future's now priced in. But retail, because they don't think that there's any insiders, they don't know this. When it appears, everyone's like, oh my gosh, there's robots now. Yeah, but the S&P 500 is now 10,000. And then they think it's just getting started because now they can finally see it. But we all know, no, that's when the insiders are starting to dump on everyone. Okay, that's the whole game. That's literally the whole game. That's what we see right now. Let's continue. Abyss. Brandon Pasta Meatballs. Bring JMS on a live stream, he says. JMS. Crowd favorite, crowd fodder from Sommi's Telegram channel. I wonder where he is, Mr. JMS. Maybe he's worshipping the lollipop of Ben Copen out here. Waiting for a $40,000 Bitcoin. Waiting for a $500 Ethereum. Let's continue. I do appreciate every single one of you. Mr. Abyss as well. Hex, the better Bitcoin meme, will enrage Bitcoiners. Yeah, it will. They love, friends, they love posting the eHEX linear chart all the time. They always post the Hex linear chart. It's always linear and it's always Hex from Ethereum. That's how I knew eHEX was never going to zero forever. Because I knew 99.9%, I mean, you go back to my March 2024 videos, right? I said, guys, you know 99.9% of the world, when they think of Hex, they think of the eHEX thing. And you won't be able to change them, no matter how many times you yell and spit at them. Okay? So just telling you about a base network effect branding. But could be hope and cope. We'll see. Let's continue. The big fella. You are right, Ben. Richard Hart is a reptile, for real. Shout out to all the lizards out there. Calmly waiting for us on your rock, probably listening to your friend Sommi, trying to soak up the sun. I wonder where Sir Nathan is right now. Wonder where he is. White Lightning node. Sorry, friends. Man, you guys, friends, I think the real alpha is what you guys are typing in this chat. He calls him Scotty Milker. How much? We're trying to be semi-professional here at least, okay? Scotty Milker thinks we won't have a season. So, of course, Scotty Milker is an active friend of the channel, friends. And he's referring to Scotty Milker, Mr. Milker. He thinks we will not get an old season where you throw a dart and get 20x. Look, I'm just going to... I'm skeptical, but I'm just telling you, I think we actually will. All right? I think we actually will. We just had a lost decade. And Ethereum is now its fourth cycle. Okay? So I'm not joking. I really think we'll get an everything old season. An everything season. I think it will actually be everything but Bitcoin. All right? And then we'll have to see Bitcoin dominance going down, obviously at the same time. Yeah. Why am I feeling that? I don't know, man. Like, it's not based off any like woo-woo. It's just time and price capitulation. Like, there's no one else left. So there's literally no one else left. It's been 5 years of down only forever. So if we start to go up and there's optimism, the fair value for everything is way higher. Hexiness. You are Hexy. Hi, Sommi. Great to actually be here while you are live. I usually see it as the stream ends. I appreciate you. I design all my streams, friends. So the first half of all of them, you watch them. It's for the replay game. Everyone out here, everything's organized and it's great as well. Yeah, so I design it. It is like an actual show. And I'm always picking out great comments. If you notice, we're always going from topic to topic. We're fleshing out a lot of stuff as well. So I appreciate you. Mr. Kingo, great question. Is it too late to become a potato farmer? Well, you can't go wrong there, my friends. Okay. Cocoa went up. Orange juice went up. Coffee beans went up. Potatoes, of course. It's actually amazing. You know what's funny, friends? On TikTok, one of my highest views videos was recently the $700,000 Gengar Pokemon card versus the house. Which would you pick? Okay. Which is literally the NFT mania in 2022. You know, friends, we literally have people, I've made videos and posts about it. There's literally a guy, man, it was so crazy, man. He literally says, I just got an offer for 2.1 million on this Bored Ape and I'm not selling. Okay. And then someone made a post and they go, this guy has a choice between this $2 million mansion and this card. And he's choosing the card. And then the guy replies, he goes, yeah, I am. So what? He goes, you've missed out. Don't talk to me unless you own one of the cards. I call them cards. The Bored Apes, the Monkey JPEGs. Yeah. Crazy, man. Down 95%. Also, friends, you know what breaks my heart? One of the guys like that lost his job, got cancer, obviously lost his girlfriend. His business went bad. It's really, really bad. And then he actually had to sell the bottom. He's gone. Yeah, it breaks my heart. It really, really does, you know. I just don't have any response. It's just, you just don't know what to do, friends. Everyone has to go their own way. And yeah, I see this time and time again. I don't think anybody deserves it, but it really is, man. This market it's seeing and it's soaring and it's swinging and the pendulum's going up and down. You always wonder, hey, am I going to be that guy? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But then again, I'm throwing out pearls for you. I'm like, bro, you understand nobody is a bigger gambling degenerate than a Bitcoin holder. Do you understand that? Like, the thing went from $1 to 100 and they said, nah, I'm holding. And then it went from 100 to 1,000. So now they're up 1,000x and they said, nah, still holding. That's not enough for me. Greed. You know, but then again, it's a unicorn. So you can't always anchor to the unicorn. Actually, you should never do that, right? But yeah, it is true though. So that's why you get to see, friends, like if you ever play professional sport, friends, or even when I was playing Counter-Strike and Dota, if you watch the professionals, okay, even in Counter-Strike, you got to break the rules to win, okay? You have to, you can't, yeah, you have to break the rules to win. You've always got to do like double fakes to the other team. It's the same thing when, you know, maybe Messi does a handball and scores a goal. Yeah, I'm just telling, that's just how the world works, man. Everyone is like really pushing the edge of stuff. And we have pushed the edge here, okay? When everyone says, oh, don't get married to your trade. And we're like, okay, we're here 5 years later. Oh, use a stop loss. And we're like, okay, I watch this thing go down minus 99%, still not getting out. And they go, oh, learn to take a loss and go move on. And we're like, actually, I'm going to do the opposite of you. And I'm actually going to buy more. We broke every rule. It's every single rule broken, right? People who follow the rules, friends, that's the average person. The average person, believe it or not, everyone says, oh, the crowd's not following the rules. The crowd's not using an indicator. The crowd has no strategy. Totally wrong, bro. Totally wrong. The crowd's got a strategy. Their strategy is just garbage, okay? That's what their strategy is. Their strategy is trash. Everyone's got a strategy. Buy when it's looking good, sell when it's looking bad. Buy on the uptrend, sell on the downtrend. If it goes down too much, take your stop. Go and move on. Right? Everybody does it. What's their results? Okay? That's what it is, okay? Hey, Roz, Mr. Melvin. PulseChain is DickWifButt's testnet. Thank you, sir. What a genius comment. Thank you so much. Let's actually look at DickWifButt right now. So, friends, we have many PulseChain altcoins, which have all sunk very, very low. Some say sank, some say sunk. I'll just open up a few ones just so you can see. I'll show you MOG, and I'll show you. So this is DickWifButt. The US dollar price rotating. Let's look at the pulse ratio. It's starting to recover. It's actually nice. And then you have MOG. Let's look at MOG. It's a MOG or get MOG'd world. Nice. Also rotating. It looks good just like a peacock, right? But see, that's why everyone thinks these things are dead, because that, like, why is the market that low? It's because there are zero precedent events in the world where you have this much price destruction for this long. Okay, there's never ever happened before. So what the market's done is, this is the market effective price. This is the collective wisdom of the market. It said, okay, all we know is there's Solana, where if a coin goes down and 1,000 other coins launch, that community never comes back. So the market gives it no valuation. So that's why I think they're worth a punt, because like we know we're here, like the DickWifButt guys, they're not going to anything else. I know they're not. Okay. If you like Pika, you're in Poker Center, you're not going to Digimon. All right. There are some Digimon fans. There's no Dragon Ball Z clan on PulseChain. They're not going there. Do you see what I mean? The PTGC, they're into aliens. Okay. The great aliens. They're not going to become Nordics. Do you get it? They're not going anywhere. They're still here. All right. It's just that the rest of the market, the world hasn't looked at it because they don't even think these things can recover. Right. That's why if these things do come back and they're like, give you a premium valuation on Pulse, let's say Pulse goes up 30x and these things go up 50 or 100x, it would make sense because the market's giving you less than 1% chance of survival. Obviously, don't go all in. We're just trying to navigate these. Mr. Siftek with 2 New Zealand Kiwi dollary doonies, a financial support from Notorious PEG. Thank you so much, my sir. I do see you around. I'm always commenting and liking. I appreciate you. Always adding value. Mr. TD, Sommi, what's the best bridge to bridge in my potatoes for PulseChain? Let's look at potatoes, friends. I think there aren't actually any potato futures, which I was very, very sad to find out. We can actually look at potatoes. Are there actual potatoes? No, there isn't. Wow, we don't have potato futures, but we do have coffee, and we have, yeah, we have friends as coffee. Actually, let's say crypto coffee. I guess crypto coffee has been mogging Ethereum. There's coffee. You've also got orange juice. Futures on orange juice. So this is in Russia. Apparently Russia, I don't know why, they love their orange juice over there. Orange juice futures. So yeah, this is what the world, they all trade about. They used to be on the CBOE floor, which is the Chicago Board of Exchange. There used to be an options pit. And there was one guy, he's an Italian dude. He traded options. He never had a down month for 10 years. Right? And then he retired. I think he's on Tasty Trades now. Yeah, he traded orange juice futures. Sorry, options. Options on orange juice, right? In like the 80s and the 90s. But it was just a different game. It was easier. It was harder to get in. And then when you get in and you could actually see the order flow. So what we're doing now, friends, totally different game. You understand? Like we're absorbing infinitely more information. Back then, they could like see the guy with the yellow jacket. He's from JP Mosquito. And whenever he buys, he's got like a big order to do. So he starts buying up slowly and they'd all front run him. That's how the game used to work. It doesn't work like that anymore. Now it's what we're doing right now. We can't even, what is it? There's a stream over here, video over here, engagement, new pump fund trash, Ethereum's going up. It's just made everyone explode, right? Which is for better or for worse. Marcy Zello with 10 freaking dollary doonies. When UFO video? I have to do a UFO video, friends. I've got to find a nice juicy one. The UFO community, though, right now, it's in a bit of a, I just want to say, I don't want to call it a bear market. It's making lower highs. Let's just say it's making lower highs. There's too much fatigue of everyone where they're like, oh, another anal probe. What's going on here? Oh, another psyop. Another lizard dude, right? It's actually quite wild. But if you were to chart, let me just show you this, okay? If you were to chart the UFO super cycle, I think the double high was when the government released the UFO files. All right. So we've already had the euphoria and now it's actually dying. It's actually dying right here. Yeah, it's not going to die forever, but that's where we are right now. It's just the UFO community. It is so fascinating because it makes you realize like what we're doing here, there is a payoff, and the payoff, it's currency units. Okay. Now, of course, yeah, money's the root of all evil and the love of money, whatever. But just put that aside. Like, but it can change your life. Yeah. Like, it can actually buy you freedom. Okay. With these UFO guys, there's no winning. Okay. Do you know what they're doing? That's what, like, it breaks my heart. Like, they're just winning over the approval of their family members. Where they're like, I told you the aliens were real. You were laughing at me at the barbecue 2 years ago. Like, they're so innocent and so sweet, man. Like, it's just, that's why I know they're crypto people at heart, but they just can't make that leap because they're not finance guys at all. It's a very interesting subculture, which has actually grown a lot. And I've learned a lot about that. And a lot of them as well, like, they want the government, please, Mr. Government, please admit to me that the aliens are real. I don't know, dude. I don't know if you want the government to tell you aliens are real. All right? I don't know. This is MELANIA coin, by the way. I don't know if you want the government to tell you anything. Friends, my stiletto emoji is still there from a year and a half ago. Oh, Lady MELANIA. Didn't even flash a nipple. No feet pics. Lady MELANIA, I believed in you. Oh, man. Friends, you gotta understand, like, man, isn't it funny? Like, we're the only people in the world where we, like, laugh at this. We actually laugh. It's funny. We actually laugh about it. We're like, you know, she's a Russian model, man. Of course she's gonna rug us, dude. Haven't you seen that Sean Ryan interview? That girl? Yeah. Don't you remember, friends? She gave, let's say, I'll keep it family friendly. Let's just say the Russia KGB, they put him in a classroom and they teach him how to give, let's say, professional lollipop services, if you know what I mean, if you're a lady, so that you can, like, help seduce politicians. Do you know what I mean? That's just a different world. And we're like, well, not surprised. Not surprised. That's my lady right there. We appreciate you. Let's continue. Logie, Sommi, do you prefer the fast pump or the slow and up grinding? You know, what we want as that unicorn, I can only imagine it only happens if Ethereum is like 7,600. That's the first big Fibonacci macro. And everything else is going to be the walk up. But the thing is, like, here's the thing. PulseChain will look like it has a big popcorn moment. It can go up 400% in like in a few months, 5x. But that's because it was oversold on the way down. But it's an optical illusion, right? Well, it's not really optical illusion because you could actually buy down there. So it's actually not an optical illusion. I should take that back. It's actually real. But yeah, I know what you mean. The whole, hey, can PulseChain get to 5x sack price? That part. Yeah, man. The fast and the slow, just going to wear us out thinking about it, sir. It really is. Just when we thought, oh, it's low, it's time. Ethereum, Mr. Vitalik, hello, are you single yet? Still waiting. Stuart Lovell. I've just developed a Bonnie blue potato. You can make mash, fried, boiled, twice cooked, and all the other yummy potato dishes over and over and over. Tastes like chicken. Thank you so much, sir. Potatoes are great. Good source of carbs. Very lovely, friends. Potatoes. Wonderful. Do you have potatoes with all your foods? Your dinners? Okay. Broccoli and potatoes. Very good. If you want to gain muscle, lose some mass. I've been changing up a bit of my training routines. Been taking a lot out of me, actually. I'm getting really, really tired at the gym. Really tired. I can only imagine what's going to be like when there's no sleep season. Let's continue. Hexagon. Lost in Asia. Where are you lost, sir? Hopefully it's in a Vietnam field. Maybe you can find Mr. Scam Long Dong. W. Spoony Wielders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you to all the friends in here. Okay. Let's continue. Laser Boy. I just bought $150 of eHEX, PulseX, and pDAI. I would have taken it to the local casino tonight, but I'm trying to change my thinking. Wow. Well done. You're on the path to freedom. It's really good. Congratulations, friend. What you actually get to see is, yes, you are really, really, really lucky that you get the DCA buy here, continue to do it. The best way, friends, obviously forward from here, just for you, your friends and family, maybe you got kids, you want to help people budget and stuff, it's the auto do it from you. It's the auto DCA. The days go by, you don't even realize you're accumulating. It is a secret. That's why, in my mind, the golden retailer product for all of us would be a card that you can load up and you set the auto DCA and it just keeps doing it in the background while you spend the round up and round down. It's really powerful, you know, because in this S&P 500, the government, literally, the US government says, pants down. No, pants back up, please. It's time for you to DCA your monthly clip into the S&P 500. That's actually what brings up the S&P 500. The government literally puts a gun to everyone's head. And they have to buy no matter how they feel. They can't touch it. So in crypto, we have to do it manually. Okay, but we're not there yet. Right? Maybe one day when we do get there, it's actually a massive intergalactic top signal. So that's just something to think about. Trashman, sir. I love your name. Trashman. Anyone else still have ICOSA? Yes. Everyone still has ICOSA. See that breadcrumb over there? That's my ICOSA. But ICOSA is still really, really, really low. Remember, friends, ICOSA is leverage on HEX. And because HEX is down 99%, this is, yeah. Also, please, for the love of God, be careful of how thin this is. Friends, I just checked it. It's got $2,500 on the offer, I think, total liquidity, which means if $2,500 inserts into this, this thing goes up 300%. Just in $2,500. And so if it does like 10 grand, like it's... Isn't it fun just seeing this? But that's the same thing as HEX and PulseChain. It's really, really, really thin liquidity. Really thin. Okay, so yeah, we'll see these things. Hopefully, please wake up. We need Pulse higher as well. We just need everything higher. Kingo, is Matthew Cratter a good inverse trading signal? So Matthew Cratter he's made some videos about Richard Hart. He calls him Richard Hart's spam king, spam king, spam. He was leading the charge on the Bitcoin BIP 110, the pro censorship side, if you will. And now they have to come and retreat and lick wounds as well. And yeah, Matthew Cratter, he worked with Peter Thiel. Don't tell Sir Nathan. So now he's also the college roommate. He was literally the college roommate of Kevin Walsh. Oh my gosh, there's a golden goat in the chat. Who did this? What is going on here? Casey. A golden goat just appears. Thank you so much. Sorry, friends. I thought I had a virus on the computer. I go, oh, now I'm cooked. I just saw these. There was a golden goat, which is just shining. A huge, fat, massive goat out here. Friends, I don't know if you guys remember back on MSN Messenger, you know, people used to code like viruses, but back then there's no money to steal. So if you open up they used to have like these fun.exes, you'd open it up and like an image would flash on your screen and then your disk drive would open up and it would play like a music. Back then that was trolling if you clicked the wrong .exe. It's kind of funny. Now you double click the wrong exe and you realize, oh, I've just lost everything. Back to work I go, you know? So stakes are different now. Thank you so much, Casey. You are awesome. It's also giving you a purple name. He sent the goat. By the way, friends, next year's year of the goat, okay? The Chinese year of the goat. Okay, I think it actually is the year of the ram, year of the goat. Chinese year 2027. So this year's year of the fire horse. Oh my gosh, next year's year of the fire goat. What does that mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. The fire horse, you know, 1 in 60 year event. Man, I'm starting to get really, as I get older, you know, friends, one of the best traders I ever knew. The guy he taught me at the start. He was really superstitious. You know, he was always superstitious about like the third Monday of the month. And like, oh, well, the S&P 500 has 3 down days in a row. And then the currency has 1 green day. It means this thing's going to blow out. Like he'd always be like that. And I had no idea why. But every year that ticks on, and this was pre-crypto. This was like just TradFi. Now I'm seeing it. Yeah. And now I'm seeing all the woo-woo. Why is that? He just goes, amygdala gets bigger. We get paranoid as time goes on. But is it really paranoid? It's not like... That's another thing as well, friends. The gift of crypto, we have polymarket. Like we actually saw every single major world event, there was an insider betting on it. Everything. So it's not even conspiracy. There is an insider to literally everything on earth. So it's all real then. Richard Hart 2028. Richard's brother lied about Richard's Richard Hart's brother lied about being a brother to scam and sell, which he did. It was all a hoax. You know that, Sommi, right? You put your reputation on it actually his brother. No. What scamming did he do, by the way? What did Rob do? Did he do something? Yeah, we got some deep lore friends as well. 2022, Shane Hart appears. He says, I'm Richard's brother. Everyone got a heart attack. Trayvon, I remember, I'll never forget it. Trayvon was like, hey, yo, man, I think this is legit. I still remember we all got a heart attack because we thought he was coming out and now he's going to spill beans. And I don't know why. Yeah, it was actually a wild time. It's actually amazing. It's now 4 years later. We're still doing it. So yeah, friends, I can't be responsible for everyone. As far as I'm concerned, you just have to make a decision for yourself, man. That's all I can say, because my friends, I've been telling you this for 4 years, okay? 5 years. I go, listen, in crypto, remember, okay? Even if someone has good intentions, price goes down, okay? Good intentions, bad intentions. Sounding smart, sounding dumb, sounding rich, and even being rich doesn't matter. Nothing is a guarantee. Literally nothing, okay? And I understand it's really hard, friend. Like, it's really hard, right? Like, think about it, like that guy, the NFT, the Bored Ape, okay? He's not going to listen to someone who says, maybe you should diversify a bit, you know? You get to swap your monkey JPEG for a house. So there are all these extreme examples, but yeah, we do our best as well, friends. It's really hard. People change their minds all the time as well. Like I was just watching Matty Allen's. He did his stream. He comes back, talks about PulseX. It's kind of funny. There's like 3 different guys in the chat called him a rugger and a scammer. So he reads it out and then he has to delete and block the chat. It's kind of funny. I'm at the gym trend. I'm training and I'm just watching it. It's kind of funny. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, we've addressed that and stuff out here. It's just, yeah, these are just things we have to navigate, man. Yeah, I wish there was a solution. All right, I really wish there was. But you know, you're in, like, it's crypto. You double click the wrong EXE, you've lost all your money. You know, oh, this coin's got better tech than the other one. Doesn't matter. That's the one that rugged, right? Like, look at Raoul Pal, for example, talking about pWBTC, AI. You know, what if it never comes back? I hope it does, but man, yeah, just there's so many uncertainties in this game. The people are wild. The coins are wild. The correlations are wild. Every week we discover a new downside correlation. Mr. KRG1, I'm a Digimon fan. $2 Doonies. Wow, sir. Well done. You are actually out there. You're going to get a like for that as well. We do have Digimon believers. Friends, we have to warm up to the Digimon crowd. I wonder if, you know, friends, you know the Pokemon cards are having an alt season, right? You know how we have a rotation when the big main stuff moves out? It's happening in Pokemon cards. It's already happened, though. So what would happen is, I think girl cards, like the girl female trainers, they were always on a discount, right? Because no one wants to like buy the girl cards. But when it was peaking, they started like having a rotation, you know, because some really smart like Rudy and Alpha Investments would be like, hey, buy the cards no one wants, you know? And I'm like, man, that's old seasons, dude. Buy the coins no one's looking at yet, right? Just, it sounds like the rotation. Only crypto R. PulseChain should be 10x higher before Christmas. Let's actually look at the PulseChain chart. Okay. What we'll do is we'll play some nice cutie sound chimes here. This is where we are, friends. We are about 0.1x sack price. Okay. So 10x from here would be back to sack price. I would love that. I'm just personally, I'm ready for, let's just say, I'm ready for a Brandon B, SA, maybe 3 or 4 of them, and maybe around here, which is about 0.4x sack price, okay? I really hope it goes higher and it starts melting up, but I feel like we need new buyers only unlocked by higher Ethereum. Once again, I don't know. Every time I say this, by the way, it's always like worse than expected, but that's pretty much it. I wonder if other things can move up in that time, though. Yak! Right, crowd favorite Yak, friends, is permanently, if you remember Yak, he is on my US Tino chart. His nipples, now famous. Yak with his blue peg nipples. These are the cute little ones. I only use them for socks though. They're not good for the big washing or you have a big jumper or a big hoodie. Okay. So Yak, crowd favorite. Good morning. Is pDAI at 3 cents? That main Friund Sommi making live. Mr. Yak, maybe he's trying to scoop up that yummy cereal in his bowl, doing some typos. So, of course, friends, remember we have, interesting, core coins and HEX moving up. We have Peacock and pDAI in the ATROPA system not moving. Okay, so there seems to be a separation there. Some people are saying, oh, it's the end of one thing. It's not the end of one thing. The ratios are just moving up and down. And right now, I guess it's just HEX season, okay? Please, for the love of God, don't like rotate and throw everything in. Just appreciate it. I think that's the most important part. Appreciate it and wait. That'll be really good. If this HEX goes back to the high and drags everything up, that'll be good. Everyone can watch on the sidelines. Thank you so much. Marcus sent gold coin for 10 jewels. Sir, you are the jewel of all of our lives. Vogel, I have $1,700 to put in over the next few days. Bro, where were you? Where were you 3 weeks ago at the bottom? 1,700. It's funny because I'm not joking. Remember, no one to put in like $8. Now we're already at 1,700. One day it'll be 17,000. Yeah, we'll see that 100%. Like they're already putting 100K clips into PumpFun coins. So Mr. Vogel, could be Mrs. Vogel. You just don't know. I have 1,700 to put in over the next few days. I'm thinking of putting all in eHEX. Mr. and Mrs. Vogel, I have made many tweets and posts and comments in the past 16 hours about how I'm seeing messages and comments saying all in on eHEX, all from a 3-day rally. My God. Friends, if you guys feel the FOMO after 3 days, what's going to go through your mind if HEX is like 5 cents? If pDAI is 5 cents? Oh, man. So it's all going to come back again. Vogel continues. I'm putting it all into eHEX thinking I'm good on the other coins on PulseChain. Just the eHEX and stake it for 6 months. Yes, you can do that. I just want to tell you something, okay? And I'm just going to keep it family friendly. If you are in eHEX for 6 months, see this is the eHEX to PX ratio. If you went all in on eHEX, right, you will only be happy if this happens, okay? Or like if this happens. All right. But if pHEX goes up and this comes down, right, you will be feeling a bit of pain. Waiting and waiting and waiting, okay? So if you don't have pHEX, you could do like 50-50. All right. So that way, if this ratio comes down here, you can rotate your pHEX in. And if it goes up from here, well, guess what? You've got some. But not financial advice. It's just up to you. That's why I'm just trying to help. Because if you pick between a coin and the ratio goes the other way, I've noticed people lose their mind. Okay, I just don't want you to lose your mind. But if you're just not going to look at it, I think you're doing fine. Not financial advice. Of course, I don't know anything. I should have been a potato farmer. Let's continue. Rajug! Pulse just lost a 0. Let's go! Let's refresh the page, my friends. There we go. Isn't it wonderful? Thank you so much for being here. We are now down only minus 90% from 5 years ago. Congratulations. So we've killed the 0. We are down 90% from sack price, 0.1x. We are very, very, very thin liquidity. I won't be surprised if we go up to like 0.3x sack price. It feels like fair value was around here, by the way. Around 0.34x sack price, around here. So I won't be surprised if like there's a fast return up there. I wonder, is Tangang going to come back? Are the Robin Hood Bridger Outer is going to come back? You know, is Hex Kareem, where's he been? I wonder if all the people come back. That's right, friends. I have no hard feelings, you know, of anyone. I totally get it, dude. Like, dude, I've been here for every day of the 11 red months in a row. By the way, Soilana's done like 10 red months in a row. So, and that was after an abysmal 3 years of a lost decade. So I totally get it. It's very, very, very hard to look at it. But here we are. I mean, prices are cheap. Prices are cheap. Charles Stone. 369. Support YourFriendSommi.eth or / YourFriendSommi.pls. Thank you so much, my friends. Yes, the wallet over there, who may or may not be controlled by someone. Yeah, just when it comes to any of these as well, friends, just remember, I don't do any like, this person gave me money, let's all go buy his token, so it's justified. Because in crypto, it's really hard to just navigate these. Sometimes people send me cute little liquidity pairs. And so there's volume and there's trading and stuff out here. I want all the coins to do well. It's just what do we do, bro? Like we're here. We want something to believe in. Like you want to join, but you don't want to sell. It's tough, man. It's really tough. I hope one day we do figure out a formula. Okay, but I appreciate you, friends. I want everyone to win. And what we'll hear, and I think that's the most important part. And we can celebrate on the way up until Brandon B writes his next essay. Mr. Abyss, I think when robots do come out, they will be like adding disabled people to the workforce. But by the time we have millions of them, they will be superhuman. So it's like adding millions of immigrants. It's true. You know, the robots as well, friends, the robots. So 3 years ago, a robot needed to watch a human 5,000 times to learn an action, okay? So like if you grab your lollipop, okay, the robot has to watch you do it 5,000 times and it could learn, okay? Then 1.5 years ago, it went down to 500 times, okay? Now it's only down to 50 times. So literally you just, and think about it, once a robot learns, it never has to watch you ever again because you just take that brain chip and just load it into everything else. So that's what they're training robots to do now. They're just watching a human pick up a lollipop, stroke it. Pick up a lollipop, stroke it. Pick up a lollipop, stroke it, and now they've learned, okay? So it's all exponentially getting better. I think what they've shown is in Korea, instead of like $27 an hour warehouse workers, they're estimating in the next 5 to 10 years, the robot will be $4 an hour. Yeah. So the robot doing the packaging and stuff out here. So it's a super deflationary force. My gosh. This has been the thesis forever though, you know? So we'll see. Angel Chavez. Sommi, remember the tax token meta from 2024? Those clones are still floating around. I do remember. So the tax token meta. Yeah, there's always a tax token where you buy and you sell and do a tax thing around. We've tried everything, man. It breaks my heart. At first, you thought it was nefarious, but then you realize it's not. It's just people really want something to work here. That's why I'm thinking, man, it might not be an altcoin. It might just be the stablecoin card. Okay? That might be the base. Because if you're using your lifestyle to buy with the card, you have to keep loading up the card. So that's a virtual cycle. And so if you're using some sort of taxing or roundup feature with the card, you now have a sustainability, okay? Because you have to pay for rent, pay for food, you have to buy lollipops, right? You have to buy massaging oil, okay? All that time. That repetition is like your DCA Buying. So that might be the key to the future. We'll see. And also the stablecoin, the crypto credit card spending is going exponential still. Bigger than everything else in crypto. Let's continue. Mr. Abyss, I've got some bangers in the clips for the stream so far, Sommi. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, so TikTok and Instagram, friends, is brain rot. Trying to expand. I love you all. I just don't know what you guys are doing there. I don't know what half of you are doing there. I've seen what on girls' streams. It's like boobies, bum, boobies, bum, boobies, bum. This girl saying, I'm like totally natural. A lot of big girls like think I got like Botox and I'm like totally natural. And then next, it's just brain rot. Some girl spent 250 grand on a wedding. Next thing, some girl is coming out here. She's like saying, a lot of girls want to know like how I have like a successful business and a family. Well, let me just tell you all about it. And it's like goes for 3 minutes, no value add. You know, I said that's a girl's stream. And then the guy's stream is, I don't know, it's like a selfie mirror photo, and it's like, believe in yourself, never quit, you know. And then you get the homoerotic guys who are like saying, look at this watch, it tells the time, ha ha ha, it tells the time, look at this watch, I am successful. So it's just literally, it's just circus of slop and slip and trash. over and over again. And then once in a while, you get the red pill stuff, which is actually pretty cool. They're actually pretty good with the mystery music, but it's brain rotting, dude, over and over and over again. But you know what? I'm going to fight fire with fire, okay? So I'm just going to be slipping and slopping and slapping big fat candles, you know? Like I tell you, friends, normies, they don't think we're smart, dude. They don't. Okay, that's why I know their weak point. Their weak point is they think we're retardio. So they are still susceptible to FOMO. So nothing will get them more right in the heart than if you show them, hey, I'm really dumb. Yeah. What's your IQ? All right, divided by 3, that's me. I don't know anything. I've just made double my money. Double my money. That's it. That's what works, okay? That's peak 2021 season. That's all it requires, okay? Everyone's in here for a quick 2x. And maybe out of every 100 people we onboard like that, maybe 99 are leaving, 1 person stays, and they become the floor for the next cycle. Which is where you are now, because you didn't leave. I like fruits. Shabbat shalom, Sommi. When is the astronaut suit coming out? Very good question, my friend. When do we want to top signal everything? Friends, I want to know, when do you think is appropriate? Let's look at the Pulse PLS price chart. When should we top signal Pulse? When do we do it? Okay. This is 0.1x sack price. This is 0. So each line this is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, right? Here's 0.4. I'd love to, yes. I'd love to wait and probably get some nice astronaut suit friendship. I'll be using it a lot more. It's really good. It's really effective, the astronaut suit, man. Man, I just didn't think that would be funny for a top signal. I thought we were actually just getting started. It was 1 green month. And that was it. Part-time chef. This is true. Pokemon is rotating into Magic the Gathering. Yes. I've been hearing about that and seeing that. Friends, you know a lot of the Pokemon card guys, I'm following them on Twitter. By the way, if you see Pokemon card and collector guys on your X, it's me. Because I started following and liking, and I noticed Mr. Custard, he started sending me material from them. And I said, oh my gosh, you only saw that because I've seen that because I liked it. So X knows we're all friends, right? And I'm telling you right now, it is literally 2017 alt season, dude. None of them want to sell. They're taking on credit card leverage debt. They also, whenever there's like prices going up, so many people are complacent. They're saying, yeah, I've got those cards. They're in my garage. I'm not going to go out and bother selling it. I'm just going to hold on. Yeah, that's exactly 2017. It's literally, whoa, man. It's like exactly 2017 altcoins. And the NFT mania. 1 for 1. Okay? They don't want to leave. So they don't want to leave the community. They don't want to get rid of them, right? And I'm literally saying, bro, Gengar card house. Gengar card house. Trust me, I get it. You know, there's the market caps and they're growing and it's rare. But bro, it's literally, it's a house, dude. It's a house. It's a house. It's a house. Someone can give you 700 grand liquid cash for the house. Why don't you go buy the house, lease it out, and then you can just DCA buy Pokemon cards every week with the rent? They're not going to do it, man. They're not going to do it. I would love, friends. I want to buy and collect the Pokemon cards, but I want, you know, come on, bro. Look what we sat through in altcoins. So I'm not touching it unless like there's got to be blood, you know, which is just, it is what it is. And maybe then I hope they never get that because everyone there's really cool and nice, but you know, look what happened to us. We thought we were cool and nice. 5 years later, here we are. Tom Peep. Some say Peeping Tom. When KatieeP returns, I will sell all. KatieeP, we love her, man. She blocked me, you know. It's just hard, friends. Maybe she's watching now. Hello, Katie. Man, you guys really hate Peter. You guys really, it's just, it is funny just to think about like one coin just severed all the ties. But this is, look, friends, I just want to ask you something, okay? And I want you to please put down your pegs. If you blocked someone for liking a coin and buying a coin, right? But then the coin went up 4,000%. That's a 42x versus Pulse from Gravestone Emoji Day. Wouldn't you think maybe I was wrong? Wouldn't you think that? I'll just tell you what, friends, if let's say I really hated a coin, I'm like, you as a coin, you're never going up. You and everyone associated with you is a scam. Scam! If I said that, but then the coin went up 4,000%, that's a 41x. I would reevaluate whether I was right about what I thought. You would think so, but they're not. All right, so what does this tell you? I'll tell you what it tells you. So forget about me, friends. I'm a humble peanut brain. I don't care. What this tells you is the people who hate Richard Hart and HEX, even as HEX goes back to 10 cents, they will still hate him. They are never changing. Okay? They are never, ever, ever changing. You know those people writing the essays, fraud, spam, all those losers? They are never changing, ever. They have made up their mind. They have ossified completely and forever. So what I'm telling you is they will forever be losers. Okay? It's literally an example telling you right now. The price can literally go forever high and they will never win. And they will get more and more salty. So why is that important? It's because you understand when you're reading information from people like this, you're not reading someone truly objective, even though they think they are. Okay? You're reading messages from a loser. Okay? Because they say, oh, you're always going to be long that thing no matter how low it goes. Okay? But then you equally say, hey, you're always going to hate it no matter how high it goes. Okay? You're just the inverse of me. So if I'm buying and it goes up one day, I'm right, you're wrong, and you're never going to change either. But then they say, oh, but it's never going up. It's never going up. La, 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 la. You understand? So there's no winning here. That's a beautiful part about markets, friends. Unlike, say, the UFO guys who just keep arguing with each other, and as well the theologian guys, we can actually allocate capital, and you can basically plant the seed, and one can become 10. One can become 100. You understand? That's the gift we have. It's a great game. It really is. Okay? We can't do this in many other things. It's just, you know, this theoretical talking and and who mogs someone in a debate and then everyone goes home and forgets about it. They basically don't have a price chart, which is what we have. The ultimate signal. Logie, I only see inflation, Sommi. Why deflationary? Are you talking about the AI stuff, sir? The AI and the robots are deflationary because they take away jobs. And so if you have like let's say 1,000 people in a factory, yeah, they're getting paid a wage and then they go spend in the economy. They go buy sandwiches, they pay rent, they buy squeaky chairs. But if like 500 of them get replaced by robots, then you've taken 500 people out of the warehouse who are no longer making any money. So they no longer have money in their bank accounts and they can't go out and buy lollipops anymore. So it's deflationary. So all the shops who are selling the lollipops, they're like wondering, wait a minute, no one's buying the lollipops anymore. I can't sell these things for $3. I have to go down to $2.80. See, that's a deflation. But why it's really bad is they can't afford to pay their mortgages. You understand? So the whole economy starts sinking. That's why they've got to print money, fill up the gap. That's ultimately the whole thesis of this long term. That's why if you're looking at the leaves and you're like, oh no, Bitcoin might go to $40,000. Oh no, the Clarity Act. Oh no, if you're thinking about the leaves, you're never going to make it. Okay, we're looking at the forest. That's what the forest is. The forest is, you can see this big fat macro trend where they're going to wipe out jobs and they need to print money. They have to print money to fill up the gap. That's what we call like UBI and stuff, right? Which might be timed with some sort of world event, maybe, you know, we'll see. We have our AdRam. Let's see, you got a deleted message. Man, I love your deleted messages, friends. Mr. AdRam, HEX is still on the 1 cent. Cope harder. Mr. AdRam, you haven't been in this stream, bro. Every single time I have mentioned the price quote, I have made a mention every time saying we're still down 99%. Do you see, friends? It's you got to understand people. Like, I've been saying it for you 24 hours a day, but they don't see it. They don't see it because they're like, cope. But I'm saying, bro, every time I checked, this is the combined HEX price. I go, we're still down 99%. Look, I've even got it here for you. It's actually down more. It's down 99.19%. You get it? So what Mr. Adram is doing, this is why Warren Buffett, that's why he says everyone on average, 99.9% of people, you have no business investing. Take your money, go buy the S&P 500 and bonds, and just DCA for the rest of your life, okay? Because this next part is a skill set. People, by default, all they think about is this, okay? If you were here, they're thinking about that. If you're here, they're thinking about that. They're always thinking about what happened in the past 3 months, 5 months, 6 months. Where are they coming from, okay? That's backwards thinking. That's by default. That's the crowd sentiment, all right? Winners, or people who make it, okay, they're thinking about, okay, this is where we are now. What they're thinking about is, they're thinking about, okay, in the year 2029, where does the price open, right? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? That's what they're thinking about. But you got to think about this, right? Even if from here, if the price opens down here, you're up 6x. If the price opens 2029 up there, you're up 43x, okay? That's future looking, okay? That's who wins at the game. Most people aren't doing that, okay? Because it's really hard, right? Because you don't even know what you're looking at. You're seeing opinions. You don't have these things coming back. And then the market's always like, you know, when a market squeezes your balls and it goes lower, it makes you wonder, oh no, am I really wrong? Because I thought we'd be higher by now. You see, so it's tough. That's why there's that famous Mike Tyson saying, everyone has a plan until, you know, Spoony comes and kicks him in the balls. And we've just been kicked in the balls. So then you got to decide. You go, okay, do I capitulate and leave because the price isn't where I thought it is right now? You have that option. No one's telling you that you have to stay, okay? I'm not doing that because I see Ethereum under $5,000 reduces. So I still think it's a buyer's market. And remember, I'm using careful words here. I think and I hope and it's cope and I don't know. I say this over and over and over and over again. It's like I have this 1% fear and paranoia of the market, with more like 99%. Like you just don't know. There is no formula. That's actually why, as well, friends, when markets recover, like HEX going up, all right, this is not going to be smiles from the industry. It'll be hatred, because you and I were here together for over 8,000 videos. We told them cheap, 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 thin liquidity, cheap, thin liquidity, cheap. 160,000 ETH in the SAC treasury. It's not a rug. It's a future pump. It's not a rug. It's a future pump. 8,000 videos. How much more information do you need? But because they didn't listen, they are not going to be happy. They are going to be angry, okay? Because they didn't get in. That is the hated rally. What we call the hated rally, okay? That's how they all form. They always form like that. But of course, the magic is, you know, there's 1,000 coins to choose from. Which one's going to have a hated rally? That's why you kind of think about, well, if we're still here and you survive minus 99%, it raises odds. I've got to use careful terms again because there's no guarantee. It just raises odds that we're going to have the hated rally, and something like, I don't know, any other coin doesn't. I don't even want to name a coin because I'm scared. I was about to say Polkadot, but I can't even be sure of that. Maybe Atom Cosmos. Maybe they don't have a hated rally. But I'll never say never, dude. But how many times have you just, like, any coin could just go up? Charles Fuchs. Pokemon cards are rotating to Marvel cards. Interesting. Logie. Homer Simpson strategy. Okay, we do have the Homer Simpson socks. George. I am driving home with your friend Sommi. Well done, sir. Thank you so much for contributing to the world of GDP, your nation's taxes, your healthcare system. We appreciate you. Part-time chef. Alpha Investments is literally responsible for this whole rotation. I know it's a bold claim, but I don't see anybody else moving the crowd like him. Yeah, so Rudy is, okay, but the demand has to be there, and then Rudy's the spark, and then it happens. Which is, I guess it's like people have money, and then Ansoy's coin stops, and then Ansoy goes, hey, everybody, look at that other coin over there, and then it moves on, yeah. But you have to generate the demand first, which is part of natural cycles and stuff. But you are right. So, friends, just to show everyone, Rudy, I'll show you one. Alpha Investments, okay? Rudy he's a really cool guy, man. It's actually on my thing. Yeah, so Rudy, friends, is, I think he's got like 40 or 50 or $60 million in Pokemon cards. Pokemon and nostalgia. He's just like, he just collects his boxes and boxes and boxes. This is literally just his Florida man. All these boxes of cards. Man, you know, friends, I love watching him. He reminds me of me. Yeah, he talks about the crowd, people are cheating. You know, friends, he gets abuse. He goes onto forums and he says, hey, I'd like to buy a Spider-Man card set, please. And then people just start spitting on him because he said the word Spider-Man. Because the price dropped from like 200 on the open to 100. And they just, the word is hated so much. So it's so pure. Like you and I, we could smash it. The problem is we just like, it's too late now. You understand? He was doing it for a long time. Yes, it's actually amazing. That's why I like watching him just talk about the Pokemon cards. I guess that's how like we look like. He does have crypto, but just Bitcoin. That's like his long-term savings thing into it. He understands markets, was on Wall Street and everything. He's just really, really good. He was early to the asset class before anybody knew it was anything, right? It's like being early to crypto or NFTs or anything, like many, many years ago. But yes, still, man, like, here's the thing, right? Because he is so immune to the cycles now, he can't tell that there's excess euphoria. So I don't know if there is. It's just he can't see it, you know? But you and I we're like, maybe we're overly paranoid. We're like, dude, the Gengar card. The Gengar card or the mansion. We've seen that, bro. It was NFT mania, but he's like complacent. He'll always be complacent because he's got an infinite holding time, right? So that is, yeah, it's almost like, friends, you are the bravest and most courageous soldier. You know, do you really want to be such a nut job where it doesn't even matter if a nuke is heading towards your city, you'll never leave? Do you understand? Like, do you really want to be on that level? Like, you know, you could do it to stand your ground, but it's not a really good survival strategy, right? But then again, he would say his ability to not cheat lows got him to where he is. So that's also another weight for him. Because if he was like getting worried about these, he would never be long in the first place for a long time. So we'll see if they all play out just like NFTs. Hexagon lost in Asia. I don't know why the haters get so burnt ass about it. Never hated on it, but never bought it either. Focused on my bags. Yes. It's because it is that cannibalism, right? Where there's limited capital and everyone's like, I want that capital. It's me. Why can't you come and talk to me? Lovely lady at the party. I have a Pokemon set and I have Pokemon red, blue, and yellow for you, you know? That's why that's PvP mode. We're looking for the PvE season. Crypto bits. Bitcoin has one more big crash. Boom emoji. I love that emoji. 30K or 40K will be the bottom. Book it. I love you, bro. We've heard this no less than 1,500 times, and I'm not even exaggerating. Everyone in the world is waiting for a $40,000 Bitcoin. Crypto influencer target. You can see the gay pride flags here. They're all waiting for it. So, you know, it could happen. If I knew anything, I'd be in Pokemon cards. Ben Health Points Source. Member for 1 month. Welcome to the Spoony Wielders, sir. How does Richie gently let eHEX flip pHEX? Right? He's obviously making a comment. He's like, well, isn't it suspicious how the migrated coin, which was left for dead, is just now accidentally, strongly rallying so hard, it's less than a 2x to flip parity to pHEX? Okay. What he's basically doing, he's asking questions. He goes, maybe this stuff is not so random after all. Which is funny. That's all you need, friends. You don't need to know what the hell's going on. You just got to think, is it random or not? Let's continue. Optimal timeline. We are winners because our balls are bigger than our brains. Thank you so much, my friend. John Rachel Jeremiah. JRJ. Sommi, how would you recommend I DCA $10,000 into HEX into an upcheck? Friends, friends, you guys in this chat, you guys have a $1,700 DCA and now $10,000. Do you understand? 4 days ago, no one wanted to put in 60 cents. I'm now seeing, okay, I got $10,000 to put in. Bro, we went from 60 cents to $10,000 in 4 days. 4 days. Okay? Nothing changed. Price went up. Isn't that wild? It's straight away. Everyone feels like, yes, I want to get in. $10,000. What's a few $10,000 amongst friends? I'm eating ramen noodles. JRJ, how would I DCA $10,000 into HEX on an uptrend? You can say wait for a pullback, but I've watched the price go from 0017 to 0031. I do have exposure to HEX, but I want more. God bless you, bro. Look, I'm just going to show you now. So you're talking about HEX. This is just me. Personally, if I had $10,000, I'd do 5 pHEX, 5 eHEX, okay? Now, this is pHEX. I know naturally what you're thinking about is, I know what you're thinking, dude. You're thinking, oh man, I'd love to go back and buy here. I know you're thinking that, but you can't think like that, all right? What you have to do is you have to put it on a monthly chart and then put it on a log chart, okay? Which is what this is. And go, oh my gosh, look how low this thing is. Jeez. You're buying after 5 years and you're literally like getting here, okay? So this part is literally nothing. Like you're above all these people. You understand? So if I was to draw, like what I'm trying to do is just to color in, like a child here with crayons, I'm trying to color in all the people you're beating. And then like the people that you're not beating, I'll actually make it in green. This is what, these are like the small amounts of people that would technically beating you. But you're like beating all of these guys for 5 years. 5 years. That tiny, tiny little part. And that's going all in right now. So, man, I just, look, I would just DCA, man. Look, the best thing to do, my friend, this is the best thing to do. You got 10, 5 and 5. I would DCA, so eHEX and pHEX. I would, and not family friendly advice, okay? It's nothing advice. This is just me, okay? If you put a spoon to my neck and said, I'll scoop ya, I'll scoop ya. I was like, please don't, please don't. I would go half of the bullet, market buy for both. That's just me. Half bullet, market buy immediately. 2,500 eHEX, 2,500 pHEX, market buy. And now you have 2,500 on each side. And then I will DCA buy the rest. And I go, okay, now I'm going to put in $250 every week. Okay. I will just keep doing that, you know. That's what I will do. Just DCA buy over time. And if you run out of time and it goes lower, then like welcome to the rest of us for 5.5s. That's what I would do. So you solve both things, right? Because it's really low. You solve it as in like you just get half in. So now you're in. And then the rest you could just DCA buy. That's personally what I would do. Okay, Vince, just to take Vince, you can I just tell you, do you know how many times I've had this conversation with someone? I'm just gonna tell you, my friend, Mr. Jeremiah. Okay, I'm just this is just what it happens every time. Okay, I tell someone how to get in. All right, let's say a chart's doing this. Okay, it's done that. Okay, I tell someone how to get in. Okay, and I assume they're buying in that area. All right. That's what I assume. Because I'm like, oh, well, this is what I do. And then I don't see them for a while. Okay. What actually happens is they do nothing here. Okay. They do nothing. I then later find out on this move, all right, they've now put in 2 times more capital than they should have down here. Okay. And then they message me up here if it drops like 12%. And they go, hey man, I just put in 25 grand. It's going higher, right? I just saw your video. We're bullish, yeah? We're definitely going up. And so like I'm caught in a position like, bro, I don't know anything. Like that's what happens every time. So that's what I would do if I were you, sir. I would like do half of it, and then I'll just DCA. But like I said, man, you know, am I offering Gengar cards on eBay right now to flip for a house? No, I'm not. So that means obviously I know nothing. Let's continue. Grand Prix. If the US Clarity Act fails and the SEC step in, will this put combined hexes, PulseChain and PulseX, out on their own, as they would be the only crypto with clarity confirmed to have beat the SEC? Yes, 100%. You're going to get some angel music for that. PulseChain is one of the only chains with actual clarity from the SEC. it has actual legal rulings. Technically, the judge had to rule on everything and make a decision, you know? But, like, you know, we're living in a post-Trump world, you know? You know, like, my first lady, she stepped on my nuts too. She rugged me, and all of us, right? So, but if you do care about this from legal work, it is true. Stevie McClatchy. Why are all the main coins on PulseChain going up, but my bag of pDAI is not going up? Where is Fart's Law? Well, so Fart's Law already happened. It's just that it's not happening day to day. Okay, so the answer is why? No one knows. Okay, but then again, right? Do you remember when this is the pulse? This is the pDAI price, and I'll just show you the pDAI to pulse ratio. When pDAI was going up by itself, right? People weren't asking, "Oh my gosh, it's such a tragedy. Why are we going up? Oh no, what's going up? When we're going up?" No one's asking questions. Now that we've stalled, everyone's losing their mind. So maybe it's just part of the process. Okay, maybe it's part of the process, and maybe you're gonna get some friendly music. Hexagon Lost in Asian. Sommi is the GOAT. Fire GOAT 2027. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much. Let's continue. Grand Prix. Combined hex is closing in on 0.5 cent. How quick has that turned? Very quick. Very thin liquidity. Very quick. Maybe we'll dump to very, very low so we could get an optic illusion of a recovery. Seems to be working, right? Gears. 9. Not number 8. The ATROPA ecosystem pulls the P tokens. For example, ATROPA moved with pWBTC, but pDAI didn't correlate as strong. Yeah. There could be some ratio rotation movements, and day to day it kills you, friends. You'll never get a right answer, right? Like, remember, NASDAQ goes up, Bitcoin doesn't move. You know, so searching for these, I know you'd have a burning desire to search for these. There is no answer except what we don't want to hear, which is keep waiting. Pickman. PKM. Sommi, do you trade or just hodl? I've 2x my TradFi portfolio in a week. Crypto tires me out. I just hodl, sir. I just hodl. If I do trades, they're rare. Yeah, all my focus is acquiring as many tokens as I can get. Okay? And holding. That's it. As long as Ethereum is under $5,000. That's it. For trading, so if crypto was much higher, the valuation, let's say crypto was 15 trillion and stuff, different story. Okay, but because it's just so horrifically low, I'm just holding. I used to trade, I did all that. I saw the stats, everyone's a fraud, 99% of a fraud. Yeah, some people do really, really well and make it. Then you don't hear about them for 3 years, and then you find out that guy had like a $2.5 million loss. You know what I mean? That always happens, man. I can give you many, many, many names and examples. People are good for certain periods, and then their edge dies. I've literally seen everything and everything. Everything and anything, okay? I've seen everything and anything, different ways of trading and all these. TradFi is easier to trade than crypto because it's all methodical. But the cap side, you get capped on the upside. And yeah, absolutely nothing compares close to what we are now. And yeah, we've been mocked for 5 years, but I stand by that. Literally nothing. We'll never, ever, ever get this. Like, you got to think about it, friends. I can literally see, you know, like Neo in the Matrix, okay? Okay, you know how he's looking at the girl's boobies in the red dress? I can see through her red dress, okay? I can tell she's got a padded bra. I can see why Warren Buffett made exponential returns. He had the formula. The market didn't believe him. Warren Buffett, see, back friends in 1960s and 70s, okay? Warren Buffett, when he was looking at a company, 99% of the investors, okay, what they would do is they would see a stock. Let me just show you now. Keep it family friendly. Okay, so let's go look at the 1960s. Okay, let's go look at 1960s. So most investors, they would see a stock that's like 20 cents. Okay, let's write 20C. Yeah. And then they would say, oh, it's 20 cents. That's cheap. It could go to $1 one day. Yeah. That's how 99% of people viewed the stock market. Okay. Warren Buffett did not do that. Okay. Warren Buffett looked at stocks such that, okay, let's read it. Such that he asked himself, okay, what valuation do I pay if I bought every single stock here. Okay. So effectively what he's doing is, this is Warren Buffett, friends. Okay. Let's actually put an ice cream for him. Okay. Because we know he loves ice cream. So he effectively said, he goes, okay, if I was to buy every stock for that price, what is the total valuation? And then he would look at that valuation and he would say, okay, does that make sense based off the earnings and the depreciation and everything of the company? Okay. Which is, see friends, if I'm talking to you about this now, this is literally the first chapter in every finance university textbook. It's literally chapter 1. They go, this is how you value a company. Assume you got to buy all of it. Look at the cash flow. There you go. Bob's your uncle. Okay. No one knew that back then. No one. Him, learn of Benjamin Graham. So Warren Buffett was literally, he had the formula and it made sense to him. And he was literally, think about it, he was front running universities for like 30 years because it was so slow back then. There's no interwebs, right? So where are we right now? Right now in crypto, similarly, okay, stock market people, they only measure crypto based off stocks. So that's why they look at stocks. Have you noticed, friends, all the layer 1 chains, they look at, oh, what's your revenue? There's no revenue per user, revenue per share. They're trying to apply the stock market world formula to crypto, and it's not working. It all breaks. Like Doge and Bitcoin, there's no cash flow. Why aren't they word 0? Your formula says they should be word 0. Why aren't they word 0, right? So what you and I are doing here, obviously I'm teaching highest value content in crypto. I noticed, I had to figure it out myself. I go, well, what the hell is everyone holding for, bro? Why is there value? Now, it's funny. They just believe in something, right? But it is true. You have the base network effect. But then I wanted to know, why does the market give you a value? Why does it do that? Why isn't it 0? And it's because the market's smart. It knows if you have a group of people somewhere in a network, other people can build businesses on top of it. So the people are worth something. And surprise, surprise, this is why Amazon grew, Facebook grew, Google grew at the start before it even had all their AdSense revenue. That's why they grow their networks. Okay. So effectively what we're doing is in crypto, we are seeing the people form, but we're front running the stock market guys because the stock market guys want to see a formula. But you and I, we don't need to see a formula. We just see the people and we're not leaving. Okay. Stock market people don't understand this because in stock market world, friends, you can love a company, but if Johnson & Johnson's sales drop 80%, it's cooked. No one's going to defend it. Why? Because people, when they buy stocks, they equate all the companies themselves based off cash. Okay? They say, okay, you're making $10 million, you're making $100 million, you're 10 times better. That's it. Okay? With crypto, it's not like that. With crypto, it's people. Do you understand? So that's the ultimate difference. There is no formula yet, but that's what I'm telling you why we're going all in. One day there will be a formula. I promise you that. There will be AI, there will be AI agents, there will be robots, there will be economic models, there will be crypto sections in university textbooks, which will have the formula of Metcalfe's law and network effects, and it'll be more drawn out and it will be easier to model. Okay? And that might have it might have some cute formula where it computes average engagement, the wealth per user, mind share, what's in your bank account, how many times you peg your nipples, variables out here, which you and I don't know yet. Okay. But someone out there one day will make it and it will be a good estimation for valuations. But when that happens, my friends, in the future, crypto will no longer be going 100x and down 99%. It won't do that. Instead, it'll go like up and then like down like this. You see, it'll be more smooth. You understand? The opportunity will be gone. It'll be harder to make money, right? You know Warren Buffett, friends? You know Warren Buffett, he used to buy, if I just show you now, Warren Buffett used to buy PE ratios of 3. You understand how easy that is? So if a company was 3 million market cap back then equivalent, okay, he would check their book sometimes and they're making $1 million a year. $1 million a year. That's a 33% return. And the market didn't know how to value it. And he would buy it for free. Now you can't find anything with the PE of 3. Now you got to buy them at 25. Now Amazon, Nvidia, they're all trading at like PE of 16, 17, 20, 25 because everybody knows the formula. There's no more discounts. Now you have to buy the winners and hope the winners keep winning. Do you understand? But in crypto, we're not there yet. One day we will be there yet, okay? Because we're not an established, real mature asset class, okay? Because MELANIA stepped on our nuts. So that's ultimately why, that's how we know we're still early, okay? One day the formula will be here and maybe our stories will be told to future generations and they will want to make returns like us, but they can't because now too many people know the game. Just like in stocks, you can't buy a stock at a 2 PE. No one's going to sell you Apple at like $1 because they know, go, dude, this thing's making $18 billion a year. Why the hell would I give it to you for $1? You see that? It's built into everyone's zeitgeist. Yeah. But with crypto, oh, Hex is down 99%. It doesn't matter. Ansem just dropped the coin. Let me sell this down 99% to go buy Ansem's coin. There's no formula. There's no logic. There's no price to earnings. There's nothing. They're just like, I feel like you're poop and I feel like you're good. You understand? That creates opportunity for you and me. But no one sees it as an opportunity. We just feel the pain because they're like, man, why do you have to go down 99%? You see? That's who we are. Mr. Yo-Yo with 1,000 Hungarian forints. A quote by Richard Hart from May 23rd, 2023. We're taking over crypto next cycle. Richard Hart, May 14th, 2023. Thanks, Sommi, for the live stream. It's been really entertaining. Thank you so much, my friend. Man, there's so much hot, juicy, sexy alpha here. I can't believe it. It actually makes me want to watch the rest of the streams past an hour and stuff. Usually when you watch other people, friends, their streams, after about 16 minutes, they start dawdling and stalling, and then they just get into a fight with someone in the comment section. But no, we keep going and going and going. You understand? We dropped the 0, baby. We dropped the 0. I've refreshed the page. Remember, we continue to go up high. 17% for pHEX. Juicy. Logie, Sommi, $10 Doonies is sacrificing a hamburger a week. How many burger and Starbucks can you put in? Weekly DCA. Exactly. By the way, friends, we do $10 DCA buys. We literally, in our comment section today, we've got a baby doll saying, hey, I've got $10,000 to put in. It's 3 green daily candles. $10? Nah, that's stupid. 3 green daily candles later, I've got $10,000 Doonies. Yeah, man. We're just never learning. We're never learning. Better you get FOMO now than 20x higher. Foolsy, crowd favorite. Hart's law applies when the duck wants it to apply. Just wait for the good days, he says. Very true, my friend. Maybe we're rinsing out the weekends again. Checks, my PulseX Flex. Thank you so much for being here. What's shaking, Hexagons? I could tell you what's shaking, but there are too many family members watching. Stephen McClatchy. Great man, Sommi. Thanks for all you do for the community. One of the very few who hasn't sold out. Riches to us all. Yeah, friends, I don't want to target people personally, but, you know, I get a snippet of what Richard goes through. Do you understand? Like, I sit here and then like a random soy twink nobody loser will say false rumors about me. Friends, I never address false rumors. I don't care, dude. Because I've addressed it once. What ends up happening is they just make another one up. Okay? Because they keep feeding on the attention. Okay? The false rumor is not to tell you the truth. The false rumor is to say something engaging so that someone bites, and there's no answering that. They just make another one and another one. They're trying to do that to farm people, just like Freddie Kreuger. Freddie Kreuger, hey everybody, I'm a Wall Street guy. Freddie Kreuger literally supports Bitcoin BIP 110 for 24 hours. He gets 2,000 Twitter followers, and then when Bitcoin BIP 110 fails, he deletes it and says goodbye. Thanks for the followers. Okay, literally, it's the same thing. But yeah, the hypocrisy as well. Like someone will say, Sommi's getting paid for a token. Sommi's paid shield. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff. And that same person will literally go make a rug coin or go and do sponsor stuff. So I get to see, well, I guess what Richard goes through, but like he's the billionaire. I'm working at McDonald's. I guess what he sees is like on an intergalactic massive scale. Like you got to imagine like he's got people shit talking him. They own YouTube channels. They own exchanges. They are, you know, bigger parts of other altcoins. Like, he must know the real truth about them. He just doesn't want to give them any mind share. So it must be just like on a massive, colossal scale. But Yeah, there's no winning in the game. There isn't. It's the price chart. That's all that matters, right? That's what really all that matters. Insights aligned. Risk off for 9 years. ETH BTC and Russell 2000, the S&P 500 shows it. Yes. So my friend Eros, is that Mr. Eros? Just to let you know, my friend, I thought you were an AI bot. I see your AI slop in the reply section. There is a... See, friends, I've got a ratio here in the bottom right. See this? The Russell 2000 to the S&P 500. It has been going down since the 2017 alt season mania here. It's been going down. Risk off. So hopefully it's starting to rotate up now. Remember Russell 2000, small caps. S&P's big, more diversified, right? Let's continue. Checks my pulse hit flex. LFG, all aboard with a train emoji. The Richard Hart train. Next stop, 1 cent. Tickets, please. Choo choo. Does this train take bulls? I've got a delivery for a bull that goes moo. Mr. Insights aligned. Crypto Eros. The key is to stop rotating and buy low and do nothing. Simple, until you need to sell. 100% true. Unfortunately, almost nobody does it. Also, very fun. Just to see everyone, we know the rule and we keep breaking it. Keep DCA buying, friends, or the USD prices are cheaper. BP369. I am still nibbling pDAI with a unicorn emoji. Weekly Spoony action. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you too, my friend, as well. pDAI has now had 2 red monthly candles in a row on the pulse ratio. And people are wondering, why isn't it moving up? But you got to remember, man, like he did 3 green months in a row when everything else was going down. So maybe it's just, pendulum swinging. Continue. A coin is only the members, not the token. Mr. Eros says, it's the promotion, interesting interactions, gamified. It is true, my friend. They've tried every single gamifying tokenomics to keep people engaged. Being really tough. I mean, like Ansem is just trying to hand out money now. Not going to work though. Let's continue. Mr. Eros is in the house. I appreciate every single one of you. Benny is here. $5 freaking doonies. Thank you so much, Benny. Pumping order. Maybe Benny is dropping some alpha. Mr. Benny, are you Ivan on Tech's alt account, sir? He's just told us the pumping order. First Hex, then PulseChain, then the Peganing, then the cause. What say you, sir? Give us a random wild guess. I don't know anything, okay? Maybe by me saying it, it means it's not going to happen. But my wild guess is that if I just show you the... Okay, I think none of the ratios really blow out. Okay, I don't think they really blow out. But if I was to pick something random happening, next is like PulseX or Inc. Okay? I think that's if I was to do a wild guess like that, just like something that no one's really watching, PulseX or Inc. But really, they're not even moving that much, friend. It's just that when you look at it day to day, like if you check the ratios, they're all kind of in line. I mean, it's not like the biggest thing in the world. Like here's PulseX, for example, ready to go on higher. But yeah, it is. Look, friends, you got to think about it. The fact that the coins run separately, it's doing us a service because. You got to think about PulseChain season, okay? When everyone in Ethereum and, dare I say, Bitcoin land, and maybe the real Bitcoin, like Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision, and Solana and Robinhood chain, right? More like robbed hood, okay? So they're getting robbed every day on PumpFun stuff. But when they bridge in, okay, the fact that the coins don't all move in tandem, it's going to make them go wild, okay? They'll have FOMO. They'll have anxiety. They'll buy one thing moving up, which is exactly what you want. That's bigger price discovery. Okay, it's actually a big advantage for all of us. Okay, so it's like you got to think about it, right? If one coin moves by itself, I'll give you an example. Let's say everything goes up like 20x one day from here, okay? And then Hex is like 20 cents. And then Hex just goes on a Hex run up to like 70 cents. Right? I'm just giving an example, right? That'll make everyone go, oh my gosh, what's going to move next? And then that liquidity might hit Inc, right? Or it might hit PulseX, or it might hit Pulse. You see? And that is creating a whirlwind of higher volume, higher activity, higher liquidity, it's creating a bigger event rather than just one thing goes up with everything else and everything drops together. Okay. So, but you got to remember, if you're trying to trade, it just means potentially more ways to lose your money. Okay. So but obviously everyone still thinks they're going to be the most amazing rotationary person. But now we have a comment from Checks My PulseChain Flex. The PAMP feels good, he says. Only a few 100,000 injected. Really? That's nothing. Friends, just to let you know, for example, friends, ICOSA. Friends, ICOSA. Just be careful. It's only got $2,500, I think, on the offer. So $2.5 grand in ICOSA makes the thing go up 4x. So just be careful. Just don't chase stuff. I'm telling you, but everything is really, really thin. Okay. And like Hex is thin, Pulse is thin, everything's thin. Checks. Remember when millions were injected daily to PulseChain? $50 million in the week. Yeah, they were good times. They are coming again. 1 cent and real money again. I do believe so. I hope as well Ethereum discovering new higher prices as well brings us more people coming in as well to participate in the games. We all know we're just getting starter, friends, as well. A lot of people coming out here like, oh, but everything's still down. But you didn't get it, bro. You don't get it. It's so low. People saying it's dead. Now you're saying, oh, it's not dead, but you're still damaged. But you don't get it, bro. When the market's pricing you for dead and you're not dead, it's free money. Do you understand? Let me say that again. When the market is pricing you for dead and everyone thinks you're dead, you don't need to go flip Bitcoin, bro. You just need to show a heartbeat. You need to show a pulse. No pun intended, dare I say. Okay? If there's a poly market odd, the payout's $1. If, let's say there's a poly market odd, is Sommi alive or dead? If I'm trading at 1 cent to be alive, right? Friends, you don't need me to go win Mr. Olympia for the world's sharpest elbows. You don't need me to do that. You just need me to freaking breathe once. You understand? That's what we're seeing right now. Okay? So you're seeing like literally opportunity. You don't need for PulseChain to flip Ethereum. You don't need all these amazing things happen. The price is so freaking low. You just need there to be a heartbeat. Which is actually what's happening. Which is what we're seeing right here. Let's continue. Right here. See? It's so low here. The Matrix is trying to get me, by the way, right now. Okay, so right there. Let's continue. John Rachel. Just my opinion. Hex being the first shiny star and baby of Richard Hart will capture the eyes to look at Hex and PulseChain. Capital will rotate from Hex, having PulseX and Pulse go up. I agree. Could be hope, could be hope. I agree. By default, Inc. will go up because Richard Hart will raise the LP pool, incentivizing folks to provide LP. I also think that'll happen as well. Only question is when and for what purpose. You know, what do you want to bond and make it thicker? Using Inc. I wonder what the secret is going to be. There has to be a good reason why. I wonder. We will see. Mr. L. Flynn Ryder. Thank God you're here, sir. We miss you. Finally, I'm back from my best friend's bachelor party. Wow, sir. We were worrying about you. Worrying that you were having too much fun. I won at the casino $2,500. Well, there you go, friends. Even gambling in the literal freaking casino has better odds than what we've sat through for 5 years. Many lessons to learn. Alex Romeo. It must be Sommi live streaming. He's the new RH. I'll never be RH, sir. I'm assuming by RH you mean really hot or Robin Hood. Okay? I would be a Robin Hood though. I would steal from like Baal worshippers and just hand it out to everywhere. I would do that one day. Obviously, friends, I'm not Richard Hart. I appreciate the friendship, but yeah, I don't even hold a candle to him literally at all. I don't think anyone will. And not because of like, you know, he's a billionaire or anything like that. Not like that. What I mean is, I don't think if I got 1,000 people in a room and gave you the scenario where you become as wealthy as him, I don't think any person of the 1,000 would do what he's done, where he stays one-man show, right? Now, you might say, oh, one-man show, isn't that bad? No, dude. If you're not a one-man show, it means you have insiders. If you're not a one-man show, you've got 5 best friends, and then you've got managers, and then you've got like Raoul Pal, and you've got the other influencers, and then you have like developers, right? And so it gets wider and wider and wider, and now you have more mouths to feed, and now suddenly you're an Ethereum layer 2 token, where you realize, oh, wait a minute, everybody needs to get paid. I have to hand out tokens to everyone. Everyone's going to dump. Okay? So I'm sure everybody would be a man show. If you could, you're just not gifted enough. It's really, really, really hard. It's really hard. Like, friends, have you, I'll just tell you something, okay? You know Ivan on Quantum? Ivan on Quantum, he charges $100,000 for an interview on his show. US, okay? A post-pegged currency. If you ever see, like, there'll be like this Indian guy in like a dark room, and it kind of looks like he's going to murder someone, but he's actually like a developer. If you ever see one of those interviews, or it's usually like maybe like a bold Russian guy with like a 5 o'clock shadow, and he's like got eyes, he's like, yes, we are doing the technology, yes. And the new technology is the way of the future. If you ever see one of those and it's very like a low lit room and he's like recording off a laptop, that guy paid $100,000 for the interview, okay? I just want you, next time it happens, just watch it for like 30 seconds. And I just want you to pay attention to how boring they are. And then you're like, oh my gosh, dude. How did someone like Richard appear where he understood tech, he understands marketing, and the guy can communicate? Okay, it's very, very hard. You understand? It's really hard. And you can communicate, but you still choose not to recruit insiders to make your job easier. You understand how hard that is? Like, you could recruit people and, like, you know, make them write up contracts and do all this stuff, but you choose not to. Okay, so I'm guessing everything he's done, I'm just going to assume, is because he's early Bitcoin and Satoshi didn't have insiders. And he's probably like, well, Bitcoin's the longest thing around. It's the only thing that works. So I've kind of got to do it like that. But he's the only guy thinking like that. But no one in the industry believes that at all. 99.99999% of the industry, like Ivan wrote a whole freaking chapter in PulseChain saying he's a fat messiah and he's rugged everybody and he's like a pig underwater, okay? So they think he's just rugged and gone, okay? But us here nutcases, we think, no, dude, he's actually just emulating what definitely works with Bitcoin. But no one thinks like that, friends, because everybody's projecting. How are they projecting? Because they go, oh, if I made a token, if I had an Ethereum layer 2, if I had a project, okay, I would give myself a big stack. I'd give insiders and exchanges and all these other people around me coin supply. I'd lock them up. I get to dump first. The chart starts high, goes down to 0, and then everyone says, oh, it's just a failed experiment. I am like Berachain. I am Molestia, TIA. I am Starknet, okay? Oh no, all coins went down. Oopsies, did you lose all your money? Let's go start a new project later on. That is what 99.9% of people would have done. That's why they are projecting, okay? That's why they think, that's what they are. They know what they do. So they're looking at Richard Hart and they're going, oh, you're doing what we would have done, okay? But that's why if we're here and you're looking at the PulseChain PIO quiz and you're looking at the ratios of PulseChain and you're thinking, wait a minute, if pDAI had an inflation bug, why did the supply stop going up? Why didn't it keep going up? And you're thinking, hey, that's weird. Like, you know, we go down, Conrad Zen, capitulation moment, and our PulseChain's going back up. This doesn't look like it's someone running away. You understand? But then again, friends, I don't know anything. A lot of people could say like, hey, you know, you just can't take a loss and it's over and now you're making up stories. Like, for example, friends, if I'll show you right now just to prove my point. Pokemon crowd favorite, Brandon B, okay, I will show you now. Brandon B, what do you think he's saying about this rally? What do you think he's saying about this rally? Do you think he's saying, I'm so sorry, Richard Hart. I doubted you. I should have been buying. The prices were cheap, Richard Hart. The best is yet to come. Do you think he's saying that? No, he's not. Let me show you what Brandon's saying. This is the biggest, most obvious, unearned suckers rally I've ever seen. This is not even an attempt to justify how this could be sustainable. It is not a macro bull market yet. No catalyst, no fundamentals or improvement is driving this. No new users or organic demand lower. When you're up 300% on an abandoned reload scam, you take profits. 99% chance you'll be thankful you did later. Kind of fun. Man, that's why, friends, if like market wisdom, right? If PulseChain and HEX succeed and pDAI and everything else, you really do get your 100x. Because we literally got a guy who's been here for 5 years who's saying it's a reload scam. Like the prices are so low, everything's contrarian. That's why I'm telling you, like, I wouldn't try to time anything, dude. I just keep scooping and scooping and scooping and scooping. Like, bro, you got guys literally here every single day for 5 years telling you scam, scam, scam. That's how contrarian it is, bro. You understand? You're not gonna get this again, friends. You're not gonna get this again, friends. Do you think if Bitcoin went to $30,000, Michael Saylor's gonna call it a scam? No. Do you think the Bitcoin Maxis are going to call it a scam? No. Exactly. You see how rare this is? Yeah, it's rare. Right? So this is very, very, very rare. That's another way to say early. There's more risk, more opportunity. Depends how you look at it. John Rachel, this is the first time I've caught you live, Sommi. I heard you were a bot. Thank you so much, my friend. It's 11:23 p.m. in Arizona. The lovely, hot Arizona desert. I would love to come visit there. And I'd love to go talk to all the jailbirds. They make them clean up the side of the road, friends, in their orange jacket. Do they still do that? I'd love to go see one of them live. That's awesome. Thank you so much, my friends. Alex, I never lost faith in Richard Hart. The recovery and new highs this cycle will be glorious. Richard Hart is one of a kind. You kept us all hopeful during these tough years. I appreciate it, sir. Logie, Sommi, what is the result of your poll? Where is the hex resistance? Okay. Yeah, it's over. 64% of people believe the next resistance is 4x higher. And only 36% of people believe we're resisting right here. So, you know, here we go. Here we go again. Let's just show you the chart. Let's have a look. This is where we are, friends. Where is 4x higher? Right here, this little level here. So 64% people believe we're going up there. 36% believe Brandon B is going to be celebrating again. Welcome to the hope and disbelief, my friends. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Stiff Tech. Thank you, Sommi. I have to go now. Okay, friends. Stiff Tech's going. We're all done here. Like, subscribe. Catch you in the next one.